Welcome to Perkins Online, the thinking person's talk show. Now here's your host, Wilmot Mutty Perkins.
Morning, everybody. Morning, and welcome once again to Perkins Online. Well, quite an interesting weekend, wasn't it? First of all, there was the matter of the two latest celebrities that dominated most of the radio stations. Certainly the ones that I listened to, it was on nationwide. In fact, we were told that Mr. Cliff Hughes was down at Fort Augusta from quite early in the morning, certainly well before 9 o'clock. And was there until 11 o'clock when the lady was released, the murderess. And it was covered on Radio Jamaica on Pot 102. It dominated the Gleaner's front page on Saturday morning. And so too the Observer, the picture of these two persons, distinguished by the fact only, as so far as I know, that they had committed murder and had served time in prison and were now being paroled. I have no problem with persons being paroled. But the celebration in the media, this is what I find most interesting. These are both now celebrities on the basis of the treatment in the media. And what is the impact likely to be on the minds of young people? Interesting, isn't it? Let's leave that there. There's a report on the news this morning. There was a police shooting in the Glendevon area of Montego Bay yesterday, or I think Glendevon, they said, wherever. A gang leader, a person alleged to have been a gang leader, was shot. The police allegation being that they encountered these men, ordinary police patrol apparently, encountered these men, and we're told that the men apparently stopped the car and got out and started shooting at the police. I'm not sure the police may have been on foot or something. And why the men should have stopped and shot at them like this is not clear. I suppose that they've been on according to the police again, they've been on a path of mayhem, kicking down large numbers of doors and spraying houses with shots and so on. And then this morning we heard that one of the men involved, who was driving the others in his car, and who has been arrested held by the police, and is supposed to be charged with shooting with intent and possession of a firearm, that this young man, 24 years old, is the son of a political candidate, let us say, in the coming election. He's running for a seat down there in the Montego Bay area. The candidate, his father, has been named, and his father has been named. In fact, the father is supposed to have taken him into the police. Now, I think that in fairness and in, by way of intelligence, I don't see that the father and his candidacy should be mixed up in this at all. If this young man, and it has yet to be proven that this is so, this is an allegation, and we are still supposed to have in this country the principle of law that a person accused of an offense, of a crime, is to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. Right? So I don't think we should make too much of this. Right? If this young man is in fact guilty, that is his responsibility, his decision, not his father's. Okay? So I don't think that this incident should have any bearing upon his father's political campaign. None whatever. It has nothing to do with it. We need to start thinking in this country. Right? We need to start thinking. It is to our own benefit to think. Anyway, so we can forget about that one too. We should resist the temptation to bring it into. Okay, the other big item in the news has, of course, been the polls. The Gleaner came out with another one on Sunday, telling us that what was the headline again? PNP pushes ahead. This is the Bill Johnson poll. PNP pushes ahead, and we are told that they have had us. Well, this wasn't part of the poll results, but Mr. Bill Johnson has reported, they've been saying that they had a surge, a boost. They had a boost from, what is it now, the Prime Minister's budget speech, and World Cup cricket. World Cup cricket. Now, I would like to know, what was it about World Cup cricket that gave them this surge? In fact, the Prime Minister didn't seem to think that they had any surge from World Cup cricket. She came out a few days ago and, was critical of Mr. Bobby Pickersgill for having suggested that, they were hoping for a boost But Mr. Johnson is offering it as his opinion that the boost from World Cup cricket is what led to the PNP getting this surge ahead of the Labour Party. Now there are all kinds of things. I've been listening to discussions about this. There are all kinds of questions to be raised, But I remember telling you, didn't I, that this was going to happen? That as we got closer to the elections, now the pollsters have been saying that the two parties were neck and neck. That's lovely. Afforded them a degree of credibility. They weren't out there pushing for any particular party. But I remember suggesting that we must expect that as we get closer to the election, we're going to see polls saying that that the PNP has picked up a surge and has moved ahead of the opposition. Is that what is beginning to happen here? Is it? I notice, however, that Mr. Wignall... Oh, okay, I'm being asked to take a break. We'll come back in a moment.
Workers in the light and power industry, the JPS Employees Co-op Credit Union is you and your family's best bet for attractive loans and investment options. The time by the JPS Employees Co-op Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is 10:15.
Smells great, tastes better. Your favorite Dr. Luscious and Tasty Baked products. Delve into our delicious Dr. Luscious cheese bread, pineapple cake and a raisin cake, and our tasty Tasty orange, coconut and cherry cakes. Available at all major supermarkets and stores island-wide. Fresh, savory and mouth-watering baked brands. Dr. Luscious and Tasty line of products. Baked and distributed by Breads and More Limited, 27 East Street, Old Harbour. Telephone 983-0644. Dr. Luscious and Tasty Baked products. Just what the doctor ordered.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Education's important to me. From GSAT to my master's degree, Scotiabank has a plan for me.
Time flies. Open a Scotia Education Savings or Scotia Education Wealth Plan for your child today. Then watch it grow as fast as they do. The Scotia Education Savings or Wealth Plan also offers scholarships and bursaries annually. Call or visit any Scotiabank branch for details and start your plan today. You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. And at the break, I was talking about the polls. And had come to the point where Mr. Mark Wignall, the 9% man, had said in his article, or said in his article in the Observer yesterday, that in his view, the Labour Party, a victory for the Labour Party in the election was a matter of, not of possibility, but of probability. I think that what he means is that, not that there is a contradiction between possibility and probability, but that, the probability is a further step. And it was not only possible that the Labour Party would win. I think he said that they would get a minimum of 37 seats. But it would be, and that would be a matter of probability rather than just possibility. Well, first of all, do polls have a predictive power or a polls snapshot? He says that, well, I don't know. I don't know at what he's doing here. Is he being pollster? He says he has done some polls. Or, just an opinion journalist. I don't know. But I think it would have been a lot more credible had he not blotted his own reputation with that 9% poll that came out on the eve of the election in 2002. People are talking about Mr. Johnson and his performance in St. Lucia, where he had the opposition way ahead, and not the opposition, the government way ahead, and likely to win substantial victory. I think he gave the opposition the likelihood of 3 seats in a 17-seat legislature. Well, it turned the other way around. In fact, the government won, I think it was 5 seats. And the opposition, the rest of them. Now, he has been coming with explanations for that, you see. And he's still carrying on that. But there is also another instance where in the Bahamas in 2002, where he predicted that the opposition was going to defeat Mr. Perry Christie. What's the name of the opposition man? Tommy I can't remember, Tommy something or other. Anyway, he was going to defeat Perry Christie. It worked out the other way around. Perry Christie gave him a hiding. So it may be that when Mr. Johnson has one party ahead, it really is the other party that is ahead. I don't know. It seems so, looking at St. Lucia, Bahamas. Not Bahamas, yes. So, let us see. We shall see what we shall see, eh? And I think that the really important thing is to try to make everybody in the country, and certainly listeners to this program, whether they are PNP or JLP, go out there, think about it, think about your, and look here, don't allow yourself in choosing a government, which is what you're doing, to be influenced by whether you like Sister P or like Mr. Golding. That is not what is important. Like yourself. Like your family, your children. Like your country. And exercise your franchise in choosing a government on the basis of the issues. What are the issues? Right? Is the PNP likely to make a better government than would the opposition? And that must include the expectation that the PNP would make a better government than the PNP has been over the last 18 years. So think about all of that. Think about the issues, right? And come to a conclusion and go out there and vote intelligently. And let me tell you something. If somebody offers you money for your vote, right? What is it, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000? How long is that going to last you? How many weeks is that going to supply you with food? I don't know. If I were a poor man, when I say a poor man, I'm a poor man, but, you know, poor like some of the others of you. And somebody, I couldn't put food on my table, and some politician came offering me money to vote for him. I am not going to tell you that I wouldn't take that money, but he wouldn't be getting my vote. Right? I wouldn't tell you I wouldn't take it, but I can tell you he wouldn't be getting my vote. No way. Right? We need to start thinking about our country. We need to start thinking about making our country into a place where we can live comfortably and happily and securely. Right? And we need to start thinking about our children that we are bringing into a world in this miserable place. It is a miserable place. Right? Where people's lives are being squashed out every day. Very often for no good reason. Where facilities are broken down. The road system, the hospitals, the schools. And you can go on and on with it. Right? The debt that is incurred. And any child that comes into the world today is coming into the world owing a whole heap of money. Right? Money that would have in no way benefited from. We can't go on like this. We can't go on like this. But what is important is that the people allow themselves to think clearly on the matter. And when if you have thought clearly about it, and you come to your conclusion, I'm not going to be quarreling with you, and for that is your right. But this dishonesty that is being practiced, based upon religion, and where the name of God is being dishonestly employed for political benefit of a particular person and party. And people are being invited to believe that God has already decided the issue. And that if they are going to vote, they have a duty to vote in accordance with the will of God. That is crookery. Nothing of the sort has happened. Right? You go and make your decision and contribute to the well-being of your country and yourself and your people. We take a break. We come back shortly.
Ideal Finance Corporation, 17 Ripon Road, Kingston 5, offers competitive interest rates on your investments and attractive foreign exchange rates. Call 960-639024. The time by Ideal Finance Corporation is
10:30.
Today's weather brief is brought to you by Lloyd's Distributors Limited and Lloyd's Sales Hardware, 98 Red Hills Road, Kingston 19. Now open, 145 Constant Spring Road, Kingston 8. Before you buy, compare our prices, because nobody beats us. Nobody. Lloyd's Distributors Limited and Lloyd's Sales Hardware, 98 Red Hills Road and 145 Constant Spring Road. Massive sale on steel, lumber, 5/8 ply, cement and more. Take our competitors' quotations to us and we'll beat the prices, because nobody beats us. Nobody. Telephone 969-3382. That's 969-3382.
Now for today's weather brief. There is a surface to upper-level trough west of Jamaica. Today, expect mostly cloudy conditions with showers and thunderstorms over most parishes. Tonight is also expected to be mostly cloudy. Tomorrow, expect mostly cloudy skies with scattered showers. Wednesday and Thursday are expected to be mainly sunny and partly cloudy in the afternoons. The information for today's weather brief was supplied by the National Meteorological Service of Jamaica.
Today's weather brief was brought to you by Lloyd's Distributors Limited and Lloyd's Sales Hardware, 98 Red Hills Road, Kingston 19. Now open, 145 Constant Spring Road, Kingston 8. Before you buy, compare our prices, because nobody beats us. Nobody.
Every day is a miracle to me.
Hi, I'm Sandra, and my son has HIV. Now, I may not be infected, but I am very much affected. Boy, I'm so glad he can get the ARV medicine to help him look better and feel better. Now that he's sticking with the program, he's back to his old self. It's almost like old times.
ARVs for life. Right on time, every time. Call 1-888-991-4444 to find out more.
This Labor Day, you've got a good reason to get out and work. Ace Super Center is getting you ready with their amazing Labor Day specials. Great prices on tools, hardware, paints, houseware, and more. Everything you need for the house, garden, and Labor Day project is at Ace Super Center. So don't miss these amazing Labor Day specials at Ace Super Center off Mandela Highway. Ace, the helpful place. Offer ends May 31. Conditions apply.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. There are a few other matters that I want to deal with, but we have online Dr. Carolyn Gomes. Good morning, Dr. Gomes.
Good morning, Mr.
How are you?
Perkins. I'm fine.
You're fine?
I'm as fine can be, Mr. Perkins. Concerned for my country.
Eh?
Concerned for my country.
Yes.
But personally, I am fine.
Personally, you're fine, but you're concerned for your country.
Yeah.
But your country is in a bit of a mess, you know.
Yeah, a bit of a mess, Mr. P.
Eh?
A fair mess, I would say.
Yes. Tell me something. Police shootings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know that the murder rate is going up, that there seems to be a lot more violence in this country since, when I say a lot more, considerable more, the murders and the police shootings, right? Now, we've been hearing about the murders, that they're up what? Is it 7%?
Is it 5%? 9%? 9%, something like that.
9%, yes, for this year, over last year. What about the police shootings?
Oh, Mr. Perkins, they are out of control. We've been very, very, very concerned the whole of the last 2.5 years that the rate of police killings is escalating at an unbelievable pace. And we seem to be having, absolutely no accountability at all. It's frightening. It's really, really frightening. We had, the figures have gone from 168 in 2004 to 202 in 2005.
168 in 2004. 2005, it was how much?
202. And 2006 was 227.
168,
we seem to be
202, and how much?
227.
327.
227. 227.
In what?
In 06 was 227. And we seem to be out to break that record this year.
Oh, what have we gone so far?
89 for the period January to April.
That's 4 months. So if you multiply that by 3, right? For ease of
call it 90.
3 9's 27. 270.
We have in the 80s we did these figures before, but the police reform had. There was 1 year in the 80s where the police killed almost 350 people. But we had seemed to have brought the situation down to not good, but reasonably tolerable levels in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And the late 90s, 95 onward. There was 1 year under the tenure of Colonel Macmillan when it was 94 or 95 persons killed by the police. And
yes.
that was a record low. And then it sort of stabilized around 140, 138, 140. And then all of a sudden, we get this excessive jump. And it's terrifying because the accountability system seem to be in complete disarray, and we seem to be getting nowhere. I know that Mr. Gauze and his team at the BSI are trying their best. But they remain under-resourced, completely under-resourced. In the light of this upturn, I don't think they've had any more officers assigned to them, even though they have a more than 1/3 increase in their workload. Mr. Perkins, we just seem to be turning a complete blind eye.
Yes.
We seem to think it's okay to murder people.
Well, Dr. Gomes, it's the political authorities, the governmental authorities, seem to me not to be concerned to put in place the investigative machinery. I mean, look, there are people out there with guns, eh?
Absolutely, Mr. Perkins. And so the point of all of this is that we have to find a system that will credibly clear policemen who have acted properly
yes.
in defense of themselves and the citizens.
Yes.
Which they have to do, which they are mandated to do.
Uh-huh.
But right now we're in a place where we neither credibly clear nor credibly charge or investigate those who have acted outside the law. And we know that there are those that are doing that.
Absolutely. But Dr. Gomes, it's not just a problem of the police, right? It is also a problem of government. The government does not care enough about people to think that it should have in place such an investigative arm, right? But it goes beyond that too. The media in this country, if you sit down and listen, and I wish I had the time to collect some tapes of newscasts, right? In which some police shooting has occurred. And what the media, the reporters do, is adopt the police version of events as if that was how it happened. And if, listening to them, one gets the impression that they were there and saw this. Right? It was the only basis upon which they could say what they said.
Yeah.
That it, eh?
Mr. Perkins, I agree with you. There are real problems with how things are reported.
Yes.
And that's not a universal problem, and it is something that I think personally has been improving, because I think that we are getting more and more a willingness to say who the police allege was doing so and so. I think so in the years that I've been focused on this issue, Mr. Perkins. But
I think it's breaking down again.
At the same time, our media is operating in the paradigm of the rest of society.
Yes.
That when it is somebody like Dr. Ford from uptown
yes.
who tells you the story, then it's credible, and we go running down and we try and bring that to public attention, and
yes.
we get all horrified.
Yes.
When it is the inner city youth or the granny from the inner city who stands up, we say that they are out there telling lies on behalf of somebody. We don't necessarily say it out loud, but we believe it in our hearts that they are not really telling the truth.
Yes.
Right? They're not really giving us a story, because those are people that we have to deal with. They harbor criminals, and we forget that the majority of the people in the inner city are decent, law-abiding citizens deserving of exactly the same rights
Dr. Gomes,
as all of us.
They are our citizens, right?
Right.
They are our other selves.
They are not our other selves, Mr. Perkins. They are us.
Well, what I mean is,
yes, I know what you mean.
One may be James Brown, and another will be John something or other, right? But the fact of the matter is that if I am to be secure in the rights that I'm supposed to have, then those people will have to be secure in them too, right? And when I see something happening to that man, then I must be intelligent enough to understand that it is on its way to my door.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. But we don't, Mr. Perkins, I've had conversations, people who are supposed to be in a position of authority, people who have power, they don't believe, they don't listen, and they don't hear, and they are going to feel. Because we cannot, I mean, there's no way that you can be safe in your little uptown enclave from the depredations of a police force out of control.
Yes.
And I'll make the point again, those who work with us in the police force understand that I am not saying that everybody in the police force is out of control.
That's not
what I'm saying is that there are elements in the force that shoot first, second, third, last, and that the systems in place do not allow for proper investigation and for due process to call them to account.
Yes.
Right?
And part of the problem is, I gather that Mr. Hughes Small, haven't had the opportunity of talking to him about it, but he made a speech at the Pubic Justice Conference. Why do you laugh?
Mistakes happen, Mr. P. I've been a victim of them myself, so. And I've committed many in my time.
But he pointed out that well, I'm not absolutely sure how we put it, but that that what we have is a cultural problem, right? Coming all the way back from the beginnings of our history and the attitude to different classes and categories of people, right? And that for us to have genuine justice in this country, we're going to have to correct it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I mean, Mr. Perkins...
May I ask you to hold the thought for me?
Barco Caribbean Limited has such a fine cosmetic line for hair and skin. My family and I have used all their products from Pure Lean to Camille to Magic Beauty. These products can be found island-wide in all leading supermarkets and grocery stores at very affordable prices. The time by Barco Caribbean Limited is 10:45.
Today's weather brief is brought to you by Suddenly Slender Jamaica Limited. Doctors say 65% of us are overweight. Get help now.
Do you have fat thighs or calves, flabby arms, double chin or crow's feet, baby tummy that won't budge or unsightly cellulite? Well, visit Suddenly Slender and experience the magic of mineral body wraps. Would you like to be slimmer? Lose 6 to 30 inches? Suddenly Slender. Shops 14 and 15 Hilton Kingston, 920-1139 or 997-1909.
Now for today's weather brief. There is a surface to upper level trough west of Jamaica. Today expect mostly cloudy conditions with showers and thunderstorms over most parishes. Tonight is also expected to be mostly cloudy. Tomorrow expect mostly cloudy skies with scattered showers. Wednesday and Thursday are expected to be mainly sunny and partly cloudy in the afternoons. The information for today's weather brief was supplied by the National Meteorological Service of Jamaica.
Today's weather brief was brought to you by Suddenly Slender Jamaica Limited. Feel better, look better, improve your health. Call 920-1139.
Enter the Manchester Cooperative Credit Union's Be Smart Loan Bonanza and qualify for a chance to win prizes. From a minimum loan disbursement of $100,000, you qualify to win monthly prizes of $10,000 and $100,000 in the grand draw towards your loan payment. Visit any one of our branches in Mandeville, Christiana, or Porus to access your loan. Offer ends May 31. Conditions apply. Manchester Cooperative Credit Union, where service exceeds expectation. Authorized by order under the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
This Labor Day, paint with Berger. Paint with love. Beautify and add color to concrete walls with Berger 303, Everglow, or Magic Coat. And for grills and doors, use Berger 404. Painting roadways and pedestrian crossings? Then use Berger Road Marking Paint. Available in white, yellow, and blue for parking spots for the disabled. Remember, surface preparation is key. Get rid of fungus and algae with Berger Biocidal Solution. Treat flaking, peeling, and chalking services with Berger Alkali Sealer. Need advice on your paint project? Call Berger at 1-8884-BERGER or 322-1105 on Labor Day itself for free technical advice.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back with you, Dr. Gomes, and you were about to say something.
Yeah, I've had a couple of interesting experiences recently, Mr. Perkins. One was I had an opportunity to go to Trinidad to a workshop of human rights groups across the Caribbean.
Yes.
And we were talking about police accountability, and I got a statement from that group coming out of that workshop, and I'm going to read it to you now.
Yeah.
Police forces across the region are characterized by high levels of corruption and severe weaknesses or complete lack of accountability mechanisms.
Mm-hmm.
The timidity and ineffectualness of reform efforts are failing to break corrupt linkages, entrench accountability, or produce professionalism in police forces. Second interesting experience, I'm preparing a paper for another conference, and it's a paper on the accountability systems across the Caribbean. So I went looking in 11 different English-speaking Caribbean countries. And in that survey, Mr. Perkins, every single one of those countries has police problems.
Uh-huh.
Different countries have different levels of accountability mechanisms. Every single one has a police service commission. Every single one of those countries' police services commissions are appointed either by the Governor General or the President in Trinidad or the President in Ghana on the advice of the Prime Minister or the Leader of the Opposition, after consultation with the Prime Minister or the Leader of the Opposition. Every single one of those commissions can only recommend to the upstairs what to do. They have very, very little of their own power. And then they appoint commissioners who in turn get very little power and have no accountability. And so when we talk about police reform, we are talking about a fundamental problem, a fundamental understanding of how power in a democracy is shared, how power in a democracy is operated, and on whose behalf people are doing things.
But we don't...
And I'm going to just say, if you would let me, Mr. Perkins, one more thing. In Jamaica's case, and I'm quoting to you from the paper that I'm going to give.
Yes.
Our work has shown us that the top-down leadership style with low levels of accountability infects even the design of accountability mechanisms. So the new Police Civilian Oversight Authority Act was drafted and passed without any consultation with any of the civilians or NGO groups that had been working for years on issues of police accountability. The authority has a membership appointed by the Governor General without any reference to anyone. It is only obliged to report on its work to Parliament annually, and it is given no power to ensure that it can be accountable to the people or even to the government beyond its annual report. So we keep building these structures, these face cards, these houses of cards, because we refuse to give democracy. We're coming from a place where power belongs to the state, and it's kind of shared up around state actors, to be used by them on behalf of a set of slightly inferior beings called citizens.
But to go back to what Hugh Small was saying, the fact of the matter is that people, the people who are setting up these organizations are not setting them up to uphold rights which they do not think that ghetto man has. Right?
Yeah.
They don't see him as having rights. And therefore they're not setting up the organization to ensure that his rights are protected and respected. Right?
No, absolutely. It's the same point, Mr. Perkins. Basically, some people are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Yes.
And those who get state power, i.e. politicians, definitely see themselves as being more equal than the rest of us.
Absolutely.
The rest of squashy on the outside.
Now, if you think that policeman think him bad, make him go up to Norbrook or somewhere so, and try and treat people up there in the way that he treated that little ghetto man.
The problem is, Mr. Perkins, that is the assumption that we have been living under.
Yes.
That we will be safe in our communities in Norbrook because they wouldn't dare do that up there. But that's the very, very, very false assumption.
A time will come.
But history proves it over and over again, Mr. Perkins.
But look here, Dr. Gomes. You know what is the amazing thing? That the ghetto man has the same attitude, you know. When you think about some policemen known for the brutal activities in which they have been involved, right? And think about their popularity and the demand made on the voices of ordinary people, clamoring for them to be put in some position of greater authority. You know of cases like this.
Oh, I absolutely know of cases like that, and I absolutely understand the false reasoning that takes us there. I understand people's longing for security, yearning to be protected and safe, and willingness to hand over their own power. And we've carefully cultivated it. Let's not run away from the fact that the political leadership and the societal leadership has carefully cultivated the disempowerment of people so that they think that they need to rely on the strong arm of the politician or the don or the gunman in police clothing for their security, their safety, that without them they can't manage. We can't put on a funeral without the politician. We can't do this we can't get water. And we've carefully cultivated that, and we've carefully disempowered people away from a search for solutions outside of voting at election time. You know? So, I understand it. I don't condone it, but I understand it. And I know we are not singular in this. If you look across the world where people feel insecure, they are willing to unless carefully led and carefully guided, they are willing to give up everything for somebody else, every single right that anybody else ever had, without looking at the consequences.
But without recognizing that they're giving up their own.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And that someday it comes to haunt you.
Yes.
Someday the police out of control will beat the wrong man.
But not only that.
Will drive into the wrong neighborhood.
Not only that.
Who is to stop them at that
All of this is driving crime.
Yes, absolutely as well.
Right?
That's a very
And
crucial point.
we will never control crime as long as we carry on in this way.
That's a very crucial point. In fact, coming out of my study that I've made of the Commonwealth Caribbean, the countries that have been least successful in reforming their police forces are the ones with the highest crime rates.
Yes.
And they've spent millions and millions and millions of pounds and dollars buying equipment and listening into people. Trinidad went to the extent of spending millions of dollars on a blimp that looks down on the sky into people's houses.
Is that so?
Yeah. But their crime rate continues to increase because they've refused to reform their police forces in a way that can make them accountable to the people and that can take some of the power out of the hands of the politicians.
Yes.
And we will continue to chase our tails.
Yes.
And be madmen standing, spitting in the wind and hoping that things will change. Not realizing that all we are doing is making the situation worse.
Yes, it's not going to change like that.
It can't. It's only mad people do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Expecting better results. Yes, quite
complete. But anytime we have persistence of a system like this, Mr. Perkins, that is so clearly ineffectual in terms of what it is meant to do,
yes,
then you have to look carefully to see who is benefiting.
Yes.
Because somebody is benefiting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Quite true.
We know who is not benefiting.
Yes,
who is
indeed.
not benefiting is a majority of us hoping for safety and security.
Yes. Oh, and who are benefiting are those who want to concentrate power in their own hands.
Yeah.
Right?
Whether for whatever purpose.
Yes. And to concentrate power and to be able to use that power arbitrarily without regard for law.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know we can name those. We can name those groups.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Yeah. But the rest of us have to wake up.
Yes.
And take back the power.
Yes.
Otherwise we will continue to spiral.
You are absolutely right. Dr. Gomes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
All the
Perkins.
best to you. We take a break.
Make it Cake World for freshly baked products, bread, picture and character cakes, pastry, buns and more. For a delightful taste, visit Cake World, shop number 9 Premier Plaza, LOJ Shopping Center and 12 French Street, Spanish Town. Telephone 920-3570. The time by Cake World is 11 o'clock.
We know your Subaru like no one else does. Experienced technicians, genuine parts, state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment. At KIG, we are the Subaru experts. Our mechanics are factory trained and have direct online links to the manufacturer. Plus, we have the widest inventory of genuine Subaru parts. So, if you drive a Subaru, take it to the Subaru experts. KIG, we keep you driving.
This Labor Day, you've got a good reason to get out and work. Ace Supercenter is getting you ready with their amazing Labor Day specials. Great prices on tools, hardware, paints, houseware, and more. Everything you need for the house, garden, and Labor Day project is at Ace Supercenter. So don't miss these amazing Labor Day specials at Ace Supercenter off Mandela Highway. Ace, the helpful place. Offer ends May 31. Conditions apply.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello? Hello?
Good morning, Mr. Perkins.
Hi, good morning, sir. How are you?
Boy, amused.
Eh?
I'm amused and, listening to all this poll business.
Uh-huh.
And I can't understand how they work out likability and lovability and all of that.
Yes.
So, that song just bursts in my head when I hear all these polls, Bill Johnson polls and the other gentleman polls,
Uh-huh.
And then what song bursts in my head? You can count on me working for my party. Faithful I will be. I will pull with all my might, and you can count on me. That is, it's all rubbish. This is a psychological game.
Uh-huh.
I believe that is being played. I might be wrong, but that is the impression that I get.
Well, I tell you something, whatever the intentions of the pollsters.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is that that polls influence the thinking of a lot of people.
Yes.
And what we need to do is to get away from that.
Yes, exactly.
There is a potential for polls to be used to influence the way the outcome of an election.
Right.
Right?
Mutty, this has been happening for a long time now.
Yes, I think it has.
A long, long time.
Uh-huh.
And then nobody speak about what is your vision for Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
And I must say, what about us Jamaicans? What is our vision for ourselves as a people?
Uh-huh.
The other day I was hearing about this thing in Triller, Harmony Coals thing.
Uh-huh.
And they come and say 15,000 jobs or something like that to be created.
Uh-huh.
And when I look, what kind of jobs? Maid job, gardener boy jobs. Is that the vision? Is that what Robert Lightburn, Norman Manley, Crab Nether Soul,
No, I don't think so.
Flores Glasspool? Imagine the gentleman from Singapore came here and took Robert Lightburn's thing and ran with it.
Yes.
And now Singapore are importing maid.
Hold on a little bit. I have
Maids them imported, and we want to take our pick to them, to turn them in a maid and gardener boy, and a boast about that. No wonder the education system isn't the best that it is today.
Yes.
But then again, Mr. Mutty, why is it that we have a Minister of Finance who one time insulted the Jamaican people so many times? I remember one time he said, if you want to hide anything from Jamaicans, print it in a book.
Yeah.
And we laugh. We should be incensed and ask him to resign if that is what he thinks of us as a people. He went back, he said they are uneducated, they are unemployable, and worst of all,
illiterate.
And we keep him as a finance minister. This man, that is his vision. And no wonder they sit down in cabinet and dash with $60 billion a year in Jamaica and say, but we have no money to educate our children. We have no money to fix our hospitals. What is the vision, Mutty? What is the vision? But as you have often said, Mutty, is that what the vision they have? What is the vision we have of ourselves?
Yes.
What do we want as a people? Do we want to go on as this? Our children coming out of school, they're uneducated. Most of them don't even have one pass. Some of them can't read and write. And that is the vision that we want. To go turn maid and gardener boy a harmony cove with some rich people. Mutty?
But I think, sir, one of the things that I would like to do.
Yes.
Some research on the nature of the character of the curricula that are being taught in our schools. Right? What is it that we are teaching our children? What are they? Because I get the impression.
Exactly.
I get the impression that we.
But Mutty, they want to teach we picnic them patois. And that they want to put in a school and university,
Yes.
Patois.
Well,
Mutty, put us further and further back.
Yes.
Don't we learn patois naturally? We have always been speaking patois. I can't chat patois with anybody else. But I never go to Kingston College or anywhere to go learn patois.
But patois has severe limitations as a language.
Limitations.
Right? Severely limited. And when I hear people like Rex Nettleford and...
Yes.
And
telling people about RESPECK. And when him done, him gone to Oxford to go get
But when you heard him...
The white man look for me as
yes,
a bunch of monkeys.
but I tell you something, sir. You know, what I heard was all over the world, people are identified by the language they speak. The English by their English, the French by their French, the Germans by Germans, and we Jamaicans by our Jamaican, referring to patois. And when I heard this, I said, no,
gratuitous insult to
what is this man to be identified with?
Exactly.
Is he English or Jamaican? Or put it the other way, Jamaican or English?
So is he so or is he so not? You know, he must define himself what he really is.
Yes, and he, having reached where he has reached.
Yes.
Right?
Kick away the ladder. Kick away the ladder.
That is the approach that people and all of them, you know, the ones that come talking, telling you about the merits of patois.
Yes.
They all speak very good English.
Of course, right? Because they can converse and they can read it.
Yes.
Tell me which computer program written in patois, Mutty. Tell me which scientific journal and all of that. The different discoveries in patois. Nuclear patois. Is nuclear patois we want in Jamaica?
I once was having an argument with that other lady at the university there. What's her name?
Yes.
Carolyn Cooper.
Yes.
About this, on this subject. And I asked her to do me a favor. Put into patois these words. Or this concept.
Some of the squares
you heard it, yes, all right.
To the some of the squares on the other.
Right?
The very concept of it, Mutty. You can't think of that in patois.
So, in other words, then, say, if patois is going to be your only language, then you won't be able to think of it at all.
No, but that's what they want.
Because language is not just an instrument of communication.
No.
Right? It is an instrument of perception.
Of course.
It supplies you with the means of ordering the flux of reality and and puts you in a position to grasp the significance, the meaning, the significance, the nature of what is going on around you.
You know, Mutty, what I detect in that university and some people that are poor people make sacrifice to educate. Is they want to set up a new, is that aristocracy or whatever sort of a crop. We have kleptocracy and all of that, right? But they will be at the zenith. They will be at the top of this pyramid. And all of us in Jamaica, well, not me, but most of the Jamaican people, they will translate the English for them.
you know, so that place up there is a waste of money, you know.
It's the biggest waste of money.
You know,
and disappointment.
because what people go there for is not to a university, as I understand it, is a center of intellectual activity. That word intellectual comes from a Latin word, interlego, right? And the parts of it, intellegere, intellexi, intellectum. And it means understand. I understand. Or intellegere, to understand. Right? Not to know, to understand. Because to understand is far more important than merely to know. Right? And knowledge
is power.
Knowledge is important, sir. Only as a building block of understanding. If you don't know, you can't understand.
No,
right?
Not at all.
But the ultimate object of knowing is to understand.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because it's when you understand, it is by understanding the nature of the universe and so on, that man is able to put a rocket on the moon.
Exactly.
Right?
And you know, Mutty,
unable to develop internal combustion engine and this, that, the other, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Right?
And you know, Mutty, you have a limited amount of money, you say, in this country, right?
Yes.
We got independence in 1962, right? We had Norman Manley, we had Flores and Glasgow, we had Bustamante. And this great man, I don't think we pay enough tribute to people like Robert Lightburn.
Yes.
You understand? A black man, a more elegant, a finer man, urbane, witty, with a vision for his people.
And confident.
Yes. You know what I mean? The epitome, not a Nancy type mentality. How could we neglect education and build a monument to stupidity like what happened at Penis Park? where we take our money and build these highways to nothing instead of neglecting to build a highway
so all
for
of
the
this,
poorest of us to be educated.
These
Why we
things-
don't build highways to education?
these things are indicative of a contempt for the people.
Of course it is.
Right?
Of course it is.
And those of us who have opportunity, or have had some opportunity in this country, including opportunity of studying at places like the university, what we're interested in more than anything else is to distinguish ourselves from them nigger people down there.
From
Right.
whence they came.
Yes.
And they have to insist to show the difference between where they have reached in life now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's sad doing, Mutty.
So we haven't really, we're not really about acquiring understanding, the power to understand, in order to be able to help shape the future for those people. Hold on just a moment for me.
Only the best is good enough for you. So get the best and widest range of tiles, various sizes to suit your style. Floor, wall tiles, Cameron Industries, Tiles. 963-0628 and 906-3862. The time by Cameron Industries Joinery Limited is 11:15.
Hey, Red! Rhodia is a-coming.
Rodeo. The premium energy drink. Distributed by Brosco Distributors Limited, 17.5 Q Road. Telephone 908-1211.
Welcome, Rodeo Energy Drink. Available island-wide.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award, on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online.
You know, Mr. Perkins, it's not that they don't know, you know. Mr. Patterson say, if he's a country boy, come from town from country bus, and his education put him way
Where
back.
he is.
Right?
Yes.
Now, if he knew the value of education, and it put him where he is today, why wasn't he seized to make education available
Absolutely.
to the rest of the people of Jamaica?
Absolutely.
Why? He want to stay up there as Lord and God? He
Well.
knows the value of education. He presided over a cabinet for how much years? He determined how he got Omar Davis, him go for him, put him there as Minister of Finance. And more man take with money and borrow money and make him friend them rich. The whole rich class of people get richer. And some new people turn security dealer and get rich in that 10 years, they become billionaires. And the poor people, no money for education, no money for health service. Eh?
Yes.
They should apologize to the people of this country.
Apologize to them.
All right, but
okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Good.
Okay, hello? Hello? Hello?
Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Not bad, sir. Mr. Perkins, let me ask you one question. You remember in year 2000 election when Mr. Thiago offering free education? I remember it's Sunday evening. Bershal Whiteman and Depp on television and say it cannot be. Well, shortly, the meeting did down Montego Bay. Don't Mr. Patterson announce from down there about the free education. Them had give it, and by year 2005, it will fully. And till today, what happened to the free education? Then, back again.
It served its purpose, sir.
As Mr. Golding offered the free life to the hospital sector, to the sick people.
Yes.
Don't miss.
Sister P reduced it to free care for children, young people under 18 years.
And then, you see,
right?
May I show you the bounce back? She come in from the back now.
The boost.
And said she offered care to the children up to 18.
Yes.
So, let me ask you something. She didn't know she could have done that.
Well, I don't know.
She doing that.
She certainly found out.
Why
but she got a boost.
Make the announcement.
According to Mr. Johnson, she got a boost for providing for saying that she will provide free care for young people under the age of 18, right?
Yes.
But Mr. Golding got no boost for what he said.
Him got no. Him don't remember. Well, you see, let me tell you something. Brother Anasi, him and Brother Janko, he couldn't overcome Brother Janko, you know. And them a friend, but yet he want to eat Brother Janko. And every move he make to eat Brother Janko escaping. So he put Brother Anasi in a big worry. And one night he lay down in bed. And he knows that Brother Janko have to pass a certain place. He go downtown, go look garbage. Go eat out a garbage. So he said to his wife, he said, I have a thing in plan. And it must come true. For children did make plan that anybody see it full and one another go dead. He might keep it out, Brother Janko keep it out, but he want broke it in ID stand for you.
Yes.
So the morning he get up before day and night 4 o'clock, take up him pickaxe, and he take up him digger, in crowbar, walk, fork, and in cutlass, and in go pan the rock when no Brother Janko pass. And when in the pan the rock, man, he start dig. And Brother Janko, daylight out, Brother Janko pass. Him say, Brother Janko, good morning. No, Brother Janko said, good morning, Brother Anasi. Say, I better John come in the the rock, I did 2 cocoa hole, no? You better John I go lick him back. Yes, brother, I see myself, I go downtown, go get a haircut. You hear me, sir?
Hey.
And when he gone, when brother John gone, hear him. He say, Masha God. Now, sir, seatful, me a seatful, brother Janko. But what the BC have funny here for got trim. And he drop down dead. So when brother Janko come up, he see him, so brother Janko just eat him. So, you see, that is the government. Mr. Patterson make a lick back after him find say, Mr. Siago, outcome him. And then him say him I give it, and in year 2005 it will fully quit. It come in like it don't start. So this lady now, as Mr. Golden, I go give the free health care to the people. He said he might give it up to from children up to 18. No. What kind of people them? They no plan for themselves.
Well, I tell you something, sir. You know that any one of them who gets ill is covered by an insurance policy.
Yes.
Provided by the poor people of Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
Who can't afford to pay hospital fees and buy drugs for themselves. Right? Now, they don't have to go to Kingston Public Hospital for cockroach to be crawling all over them down there. Right? They can jump on an aircraft and air ambulance if necessary.
To any part of the world.
Yeah, well, easily Miami or New York to get first-class medical treatment.
Then go all out Germany.
Right? Yes. But they don't have to provide that for the poor people of Jamaica.
No,
and this business of providing free medical care for young people under 18 is a load of nonsense, you know.
The Jamaican people, Mr. Perkins.
Hold on now. The younger people need less in the way of medical care than the older people. Right?
Yeah.
A. B. The man who does not have a job. There are large numbers of people in Jamaica who don't have jobs. Right? Who can't pay, whether his age is 18 or 20 or 40 or 50. He's not going to be able to pay the hospital fees. They buy the medicines that he needs and so on. Right? And that is what is happening in the country right now.
Yes.
So Sister P is really addressing the problem there. The real problem. She's not looking at the real problem and trying to come up with a solution. She just threw that one out.
Well, it's not different from the NIS money.
Eh?
It's not different from the NIS money.
Well, there you are.
I should take the NIS money below for the poor people. But the people who work that money to put in the NIS,
they can't buy food on the pension. Yes.
A one room from for them, so then don't qualify.
Yes.
But the people will have nothing to pay back. Qualify. No. What a lovely way to brought up our country to go well. It go well or it go down well.
Well, yes, I see that according to Mr. Bill Johnson's poll this morning, what is the number? A big amount
7%.
Eh?
7.
No, man, I'm talking about the people who think that the government is doing a good job.
Oh.
There's some increase in the figure there. You know, more people think that the government is doing a good job.
Yes. But
At what?
What eventually happen? You believe me cannot get them the rating as a prime minister and then I don't call the election immediately?
Well, I don't know, sir. I don't know. Maybe she thinks that she can get still better ratings.
But she herself knows that Bill Johnson a fool the public.
You think Bill Johnson is fooling the public?
Bill Johnson a fool the public
No,
and
man.
make
Bill Johnson really
game
believes.
of time personal self.
No, man, he really believes what he's saying.
Let me tell you something, sir. Like this man in me here, Carl Sumuda and Buchanan with Beverly Manley.
Yes.
And she like match up the two of them. And me say, Buchanan say, them a taking St. Thomas, West Portland, them a take Clarendon, them a take Ardeshire seat, and etc. No. They make Carl Sumuda laugh of time to
Hold on a little bit, hold on.
Medical Associates Hospital, providers of quality healthcare for over 47 years, providing lab, x-ray, pharmacy, emergency and general care services. Let Medical Associates provide you with the healthcare you need when you need it most. The time by Medical Associates Hospital is 11:30.
Today's weather brief is brought to you by Independent Living, Jamaica's authorized provider of Pride Mobility scooters and lift chairs.
I started worrying what to do when the doctor told me that Mama's arthritis was worsening. But then the nurse told me about Independent Living. It was a dream come true.
Independent Living, the store that cares enough to provide solutions for your physical limitations. Supplies of hospital beds, lift chairs, wheelchairs, bathroom safety and rehab products. Independent Living, the caring store. 10 Merrick Avenue, Kingston 10. Or call 754-2195 or 754-5198. Rising above physical challenges, we can help you do it.
Now for today's weather brief. There is a surface to upper level trough west of Jamaica. Today expect mostly cloudy conditions with showers and thunderstorms over most parishes. Tonight is also expected to be mostly cloudy. Tomorrow expect mostly cloudy skies with scattered showers. Wednesday and Thursday are expected to be mainly sunny and partly cloudy in the afternoons. The information for today's weather brief was supplied by the National Meteorological Service of Jamaica.
Today's weather brief was brought to you by Independent Living, Jamaica's authorized provider of Pride Mobility scooters and lift chairs.
Carby's Twin Gates Plaza hot super weekend sale now on. 15% off every item. Don't miss this great chance to save. Carby's Discount Center, Twin Gates Plaza, Constant Spring Road. Call 968-4192. Carby's, put the fun back in shopping.
Homeowners, building contractors, visit Epic Hardware for the lowest prices on steam shower houses, shower enclosures, lumber, electrical and plumbing fixtures, and so much more. Epic Hardware, 142 Muirhead Avenue, Denbigh, Maypen. Telephone 986-6170. Epic Hardware, for people who build.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
Then, when you take a sacrifice, the country gone to the dog kill. Which other country, a prime minister, could sit in his office and somebody leave from other country, land to the airport in the country, drive and go and knock at that prime minister door without the police guard, without journalists or anybody. Don't have a private argument with the prime minister. And
about traffic bureau?
well, we don't know if it was traffic bureau.
Yes, man.
But
well, I don't know.
after that argument.
But the people were from traffic bureau.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, they were
And
from
then,
traffic bureau.
and then, which other country that could take place?
Well, I've
That
never
prime
heard.
minister would have to go look on, if his man ain't go look a job in a cane piece, he go cut cane. And if a woman ain't go look at domestic job. But Jamaica under no rule and regulation, and that's why it gone below the bottom of the sea. No. Let me ask one question.
Yes.
When that man drive away, you don't and him gone and reach where him a go back, you couldn't go find that prime minister in the dead. All that.
Well,
May I tell you?
I don't know, but it is unusual for prime ministers to have meetings like that, sir. Most unusual.
Mr.
And up to now, she hasn't told. Has she told us what they talked about?
Nobody know what they talk
But then
about.
we hear about this 41 million or 31 million, whatever it is, right? Which has not been properly explained, you know.
Nobody knows the secret. Can a secret fit sell out Jamaica and them already sell it for I'll refinery and go back or sell again for the second time.
Hold on a little bit. Yesterday, Mr. Bruce Golding wanted to know how it was that they were selling 49% of the oil refinery
That
to
300
Venezuela
odd million.
for 90, what was it, 60 million, 64 million US dollars, right?
Yeah.
When the refinery had been valued at over $300 million.
Yes.
Now, this morning, this morning program with the two young ladies,
Yes.
they had on the program Miss Ruth Pratap Singh, who is the head of
The petroleum.
Petrojam, and they wanted to know how well, first of all, the question that Mr. Golding asked, right? And then she said that the company that had not been valued for $300 million, right? So they asked her, well, what had it been valued for? She couldn't say. She didn't have the figure with her at the moment, right? And then eventually in the discussion, Emily Crooks offered the answer that if they were selling for 49% for 64 million, then the value must have been whatever, 128 million or whatever it is.
Sir.
And she jumped on that.
Yes.
I found it very interesting discussion.
It's fishy.
Right? She didn't know. She couldn't remember or something, whatever, what it had been valued for. But when she doubled, Emily Crooks doubled the figure, the 64 million, she said, yes, well, something
Emily
like that.
Cook just helped her out since she couldn't, that face her so rapidly that she never had no time to with her automatic figure it out.
Yes.
So she gave her a pip and then she jumped to the conclusion.
But they're selling out the whole of Jamaica, so they're selling out so many Jamaican assets so cheap. Like the big one was, of course, the public service company.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the cement company and the this and the that and the other, right?
Then, Mr. Perkins, lastly, that building was up by, when you pass Bob Marley there and go up and turn right where them did have them when them said them sell out. That was supposed for the
American Embassy people?
The governor of the bank and supposed to live there. Do you remember him?
Yes. Where was this?
As you pass Bob Marley and turn right, going up Hope Road.
You turn right onto Lady Musgrave then?
Not Lady Musgrave, you pass Bob Marley.
That's how Bob Marley's place is higher up, yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We never hear what did happen to his sale again for the bank manager did refuse from living there.
Uh-huh.
And the money that them spent to renovate the place was lesser than, it was more than what they offered that them sell the place for.
Uh-huh.
So me want, and that just got dead, 90 talk.
Yes, well.
Me have to ask Mr. Golden to stir up them thing there and find out what happened to them.
Yes.
For them, everybody live on the White House project. What happened to all them then? A huge money them that that's right.
A lot of money has been. Anyway, sir,
yes,
thank you very much. All the best to you. Good. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, good morning. I beg your pardon. We're still in the morning.
Sorry.
Eh?
Mr. Perkins.
Yes.
I'm calling from Montego Bay.
From Montego Bay?
Yes.
Yeah.
I shed a little tear this morning.
Would you keep up your voice for me?
Yes, I shed a little tear this morning.
Uh-huh.
Because I was very upset with what you said.
With what?
Because I'm very upset with every time that the policemen do kill somebody up here.
Uh-huh.
You hear something that the policemen shouldn't do. You don't know what we are living under up here. You see? And I think the police are doing what they're supposed to do up here. We live in fear. You get up here, you hear gunshots, you hear them. It's like Christmas crackers they fly, without any regard for anybody up here.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes you wonder where they get money to buy all these cartridges that they're using.
Buy all the what?
The shots that they're fired, the cartridge they're using.
Well, I think that the state buys those.
The what?
The state buys them.
The state buys them and give them to them.
You mean for who is it? The
gunmen.
Eh?
The gunmen.
Oh, the gunmen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
There are these young boys that don't work.
That is true.
So where they get them from?
Well, I don't know. They must be making some money somewhere.
Somebody. And each time you speak so much against the police, as if they are not supposed to do what they are doing.
I speak against the police.
Yes.
As if they're not supposed to do what they're doing.
Yes.
What is it that they're doing that I'm saying that they're not supposed to be doing?
They're killing who are supposed to die.
I beg your pardon?
They're killing the men that are supposed to die.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Why are they supposed...
The innocent
Hold on just a moment.
What about...
Hold on just a moment for me, no? Why are they supposed to die?
What about innocent people that they are killing?
Well, first of all,
What about us?
do you have evidence of them having killed, of any particular one of them having killed innocent people?
Oh God, don't you all what is happening up here from time to time?
No.
People not
No. Do you have evidence? Look, Mom.
Yeah.
There's a principle of law that a person who is accused of an offense is to be presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Yes, that is true.
The police cannot just accuse people and say that, this man is a criminal, therefore he must die.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The police have no greater right to shoot and kill anybody than you or I have.
Yes.
Okay? They can do so if their own lives are threatened.
If their own
And
policeman's life is threatened.
I beg your pardon?
If the policeman's life is
If the
threatened.
policeman's life is threatened by this person, right? And they have no option
than to take
the life to shoot that man,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then that is lawful, right?
Yes.
Now what we have been arguing about, right?
Yeah.
A number of persons and groups in this country, not enough, but a few persons, right? Is that there is no institution created by the government to ensure that when the police say that they shot this man in self-defense, that is indeed what happened, insofar as the evidence can tell us, right? There is no adequate arrangement made. So the police just say that they killed a man in a shootout, and everybody takes that as fact, right? And the rights of citizens are being trampled upon.
Yeah.
Okay?
So what happened? What about the policeman when a policeman gets shot?
When a policeman is
you don't
shot.
hear anybody come out and say the policeman shouldn't be killed?
Hold on just a moment for me.
Researchers at the University of Carolina Davis reported that phytonutrients in apple products may help protect against cardiovascular disease. Start drinking Mott's apple juices, distributed by T. Geddes Grant Limited. The time by Mott's Healthy Living is 11:45.
Did you know that Jamaica's leading distributor of ball and roller bearings is in fact Bearings and Accessories Limited, located at 83 Harbour Street? They stock the widest range of bearings and other industrial products, such as oil seals, mechanical packing, conveyor belting, V-belts, pulleys, chains and sprockets, and more. Bearings and Accessories Limited has been in business since 1959 and is the sole representative in Jamaica of such choice preferred brand name manufacturers such as SKF, Timken, Torrington, Cooper and Seal Master Bearings, Dupree Conveyor Belting, and Sepco Sealing Products. Bearings and Accessories is now stocking and proud to offer high-quality Timken greases for both auto and industrial type bearings. Visit them at 83 Harbour Street, Kingston, with available parking, or call 922-1950 or 922-5901.
J&J Pharmacy, located at 82 Barnett Street and shop number 3, Embassy Place, Montego Bay, has all that you need in a pharmacy. If they don't have what you need, they will definitely get it for you. All major health cards, including JADEP and NHF, are accepted. Go see them today. A pleasant staff awaits you. Opening hours for Barnett Street, 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sundays and holidays. Embassy Place, 8:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Monday to Saturday. You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online.
Yes,
Hello?
Mr. Perkins.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm here. I'm a citizen of this country.
I beg your pardon?
I'm a citizen of Jamaica. I live here in Montego Bay.
Yes.
And where there is Norwood and on Glendevon, we have a right to live free and comfortable. And we have all these men that just come in and kill, and people have to run away from their homes. And I think whatever the policemen are doing to protect us, I am really appreciative.
Whatever the police are doing to protect us.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, Mom.
When these men hear you talk like this, it gives them freedom to say, well, we have the right because we have somebody behind us who is saying that. You don't know, you don't live up here. You and Mrs. Gomes don't live up here, you know. You live in your castle and live comfortably. And
in my castle.
You're not living up here.
Yes.
There's fear you live, get up every day, you just live in fear. You don't know who will be the next.
You know, Mom?
If we didn't have the policemen, we'd have to run. You wanted to see beautiful homes that people have to run away from. Now, little box like what the government build and give people, but some of them have to chain their refrigerator outside.
Do you think it possible, Mom?
Yes.
That if a different approach had been taken by the police and by the government, that perhaps we would have had less crime?
If a different approach was taken by the government, when these young men come out from school, you have somewhere something for them to occupy their time to make them better citizens.
Yes.
We wouldn't have it. So we can't blame the policemen from doing what they have to do. They are protecting us.
The law gives the policeman the power to defend them, the right to defend themselves.
And they're defending themselves too.
Right?
Because the gunmen will kill them.
And they also have a duty to capture people or arrest people who are breaking the law and to put them before the courts.
But the other thing about
the policeman, hold on, Mom. The policeman is not a judge, jury, and executioner.
No, none of us. You know,
but you see, Mom, the problem, part of the problem of Jamaica, you know, I was saying earlier on that the problems of Jamaica are not in the ghettos. Not really. Right? They're in the places inhabited by people like you. Right? Who have no interest in the rights of people whom you see as belonging to some kind of inferior class.
Taxes. I don't live free. I don't live free. I pay taxes.
Yes.
Yes. And many of us up here don't live free.
Yes.
And if we had
had
a better government.
So do people who live in the ghetto, you know.
They
pay taxes too.
We don't live in any ghetto.
What?
We are very intelligent, decent people living up here.
Uh-huh.
You know, and we don't want to be called we live in ghetto. We live in
Uh-huh.
Montego Bay.
No, I'm not saying that you live in the ghetto. I know you don't.
Insult us that way.
I know you don't.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that the problems of Jamaica
Yeah.
are less in the ghetto. The causes of the problems are less in the ghetto than elsewhere, than among these people who regard themselves as the intelligentsia, the middle class, the business community, right? People like those and the political leaders, of course. They are the ones that have failed this country,
Well,
right?
I suppose so.
Yes.
So we are suffering because
And you
of
don't
that.
want, you are not interested in justice for that man who was accused by the police and shot.
This is it.
Right?
We are
You don't know. Hold on, ma'am. You have no means of knowing whether the story that the police are telling is true.
Yeah.
Right? But you don't care. Because that man who was shot was not of any great importance.
But we are haunted by these people. We are in fear. And the other thing about it, Mr. Perkins.
How you know which one of them is haunting you? Eh? If the police had a more reliable system.
Give information on
Hold on, ma'am. If the police could really capture the man, the person who was haunting you, right? Bring him to court, have him convicted and locked up in jail, right? Then you would be safer than the police going and shooting a man who did nothing, right? And then saying that he's the man who committed 10 murders.
Yes.
Right?
That is.
Haven't you concerned yourself about the fact that we have so many murders committed in Jamaica every year? Right? What proportion of them are cleared up? Right?
Yeah.
What proportion of them?
I don't know.
What proportion of them do the police solve? And arrest a man, bring him before the court, and have him convicted.
So what you're saying that the policemen, they're not doing everything that they do is wrong.
Huh?
You're saying that everything that they do is wrong.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, Mom.
That is how I feel.
No, but I'm saying that if you have over 1,500 murders committed in Jamaica, and they can only clear up 30% of them, or 30-odd% of them. And what clear up doesn't mean that they had evidence, right? And found the man, locked him up, took him before the court, presented the evidence, and on the evidence he was convicted. Clear up doesn't necessarily mean that. It might mean that they shot the man last night and said that he was wanted for 10 murders. So 10 murders cleared up. Right? If that is the way they're going about it. Right? How do you know? How do you know that they're not shooting innocent persons? And that the persons who are making the mayhem continue to be out there making more mayhem?
They're not shooting innocent people.
How do you know that?
Give them a chance to do whatever they have to do.
To give them a chance to do whatever they have to do, which includes putting an end to the lives of people who are citizens of this country.
I would ask you this. If you had taken over the police department, would you have done better? You and Mrs. Gomes?
I am not a policeman, no.
If you
I didn't have police training.
Suppose it should be given to you.
Right?
Would you do a better job, you and Mrs. Carolyn Gomes? Give them a chance to do whatever they are doing. They're helping us.
You know?
You live in your Ivory Palace, you and Mrs. Gomes.
No,
so
you are the one that is living in the Ivory Palace.
You can
right?
do anything.
You are the one that is living in. But because if you thought,
we need the
hold on, ma'am. If you thought that it was likely that the police would come and arbitrarily kick down your door and shoot your son or somebody like that for you, then you wouldn't be talking as you're talking.
If I had
right?
a son that is bad.
But you think that you are secure.
No.
This won't happen to you and it won't happen to your son. It will merely happen to some niggers down the road.
That's why we are glad to have the policemen around us. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. They know who they are looking for. Give them a chance to do whatever they have to do. They are protecting us.
Hello, Mom.
Thank you.
Have you ever heard of somebody called Johnny Silent?
I don't care what you want to say. I'm just saying.
You don't care?
No, give the police.
You don't care about Johnny Silent?
Give. Yes.
Eh?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That's the same thing Johnny Silent was living under.
What?
The policemen have to be shooting to catch these gunmen, and it happened that she got killed. Which is unfortunate.
It just happened that she got killed.
Which is unfortunate.
And that's all right. It doesn't matter.
Her death is unfortunate.
That doesn't matter.
Her death is unfortunate. You see?
Yes.
So, give them a chance. We need to live in
Her
peace.
death is unfortunate.
Yes.
But you are prepared for numbers of others like her to die.
No.
Right?
No, because we
and could I ask you a question before you go?
living under the
Hold on, Mom.
conditions.
Could I ask you a question before?
Mr. Perkins.
May I ask you a question?
What?
The methods that you are supporting, right? Is there any evidence that they are reducing the levels of crime in this country?
Well, we had a reduction up here, you know, and it seemed like seems as if the election is coming on, and somebody is trying to start something bad, something up here.
Hold on, Mom.
Yes.
Are you more secure as a result of the methods being used by the police?
Huh?
Are you more secure as a result of the methods being used by the police?
Yes.
You are?
Yes. We are.
You are?
We are.
I see. But the murders continue. And the shooting continue.
As bad as it
and they were allegedly, we hear that they were kicking down doors and going in and spraying the people's houses with bullets.
To see the MP's son is involved. Let her hear who he is. And
we have already heard, Mom.
That is happening to us up here.
We have already heard who is this MP.
The name wasn't called.
Yes, his name has been called.
His name wasn't called.
His name has been called, Mom.
Well,
yes.
I didn't hear it.
Yes.
Okay.
But that is, I don't know that the MP had anything to do.
The son, his son.
His son, yes.
Yes, his son.
Yes, well, don't hold it against the MP.
No, I don't hold it against him,
Yes.
but his father know what I'm doing.
Yes. All right, Mom?
His father know.
Yes, all right. Thank you very much. Okay, hello? Okay, we're up against the time for the news. We'll be back here in about 20 minutes.
Melmac Dental Care specializes in amalgam fillings, composite fillings, root canal therapy, periodontal treatment, dentures, crowns, and bridges. Open every day. Call 929-6704. Melmac Dental Care, 10 to 12 Melmac Avenue. The time by Melmac Dental Care is 12 o'clock.
Midday News is brought to you by Stewart's Hardware, where the price is right and the customer is first every time.
Ricky want to set up the house with the best from top to floor. But when him open up in wallet and him look at the money, him sorry him never have more.
Ricky don't let us stop you come to it. We said the best hardware you can get it. Where the price is nice and you get advice. The choice could only be
Stewart's Hardware and Home Center, Maitland, Lionel Town and Old Harbour, where the price is right and the customer is always first.
Stewart's Hardware.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM, Radio News Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Stacey Ann Smith with Midday News on Power 106 FM from the Gleaner Power 106 News Center. Chairman of the Electoral Commission, Professor Errol Miller, has pledged an organized, orderly and fair general election constitutionally due by October. Speaking this morning at the inaugural Congress for Peace and Justice, a tough-talking Professor Miller cautioned that everyone will have to abide by the rules. Edmund Campbell reports.
Declaring that there will be no celebrities on election day, the head of the Electoral Commission said politicians will not be allowed to influence the system.
On election day and with the electoral process, every citizen is equal. From minister to messenger, from deacon to don, from president to peasant, everybody is on one ground.
Professor Miller said the Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, would improve on its performance in the 2002 election. During that election, 92% of polling stations were opened at 7 in the morning.
Therefore, if we issue a yellow card, watch out. Because if you continue, we will issue the red card.
Chairman of the Electoral Commission, Professor Errol Miller. Later this afternoon, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller and Opposition Leader Bruce Golding are expected to make presentations at the seminar, titled Swelling the River of Peace. The seminar, which is being held at the Jamaica Conference Center, is organized by the Peace Management Initiative. Edmund Campbell reporting for the Gleaner Power 106 News.
The People's National Party's Region 3 Chairman, Philip Polwell, says he's not surprised by the latest poll findings, which show an increased support for the PNP. A Gleaner-commissioned Bill Johnson poll published yesterday indicated that the PNP pushed ahead of the JLP by 7 percentage points. The poll did not speak specifically to the situation in the corporate area, which makes up the PNP's Region 3, but Mr. Polwell says he's confident that there is also increased support for the PNP in this region.
The polls coincide with our own view, especially in relation to the work that we have been doing in the corporate era. The Prime Minister is extremely strong, very strong in the corporate era. We anticipate that after the next elections, we will recover substantially lost grounds in 2002 and in 2003, and that the corporate era will return to the People's National Party.
PNP Region 3 Chairman Philip Polwell. The Bill Johnson poll, which was conducted between May 5 and 6, found that if a general election were called at that time, 34% of the respondents would have voted for the PNP. Another 27% would have given the JLP the nod. 24% of the respondents say they would not vote, and 13% were undecided. The St. James Police have charged the son of a politician in connection with yesterday's reported shootout between their colleagues and a group of gunmen. The police say 25-year-old Tayan Kolomati was charged with several offences last night.
He has been charged with illegal possession of firearms, shooting with intent, and wounding with intent. The car that he was driving is also in his name, Tayan Kolomati.
Corporal Peter Salke of the Constabulary Communication Network. He says the accused man is the son of Donald Kolomati, the PNP's candidate caretaker for East Central St. James. The Constabulary Communication Network reports that yesterday afternoon, members of a police party stopped a Toyota Corolla motorcar in Montego Bay with 4 men aboard. The driver reportedly stopped the vehicle, and all 4 men armed with guns got out and opened fire at the police. The police say the fire was returned, and the notorious stone crusher gang leader Rowan Gordon was shot dead. A Taurus pistol was reportedly taken from him. In the meantime, the police say they are continuing their search for the other 2 men who were involved in the shooting. A 37-year-old patient is suspected to have committed suicide at the Savlamar Hospital. The police say about 5 o'clock this morning, Delcardo Sataho of Orange Hill District in Westmoreland was found hanging from a metal rail by a shoelace in a ward at the hospital. His body has since been removed to the morgue. According to the police, Sataho was suffering from a terminal illness. You're listening to Midday News on Power 106 from the Gleaner Power 106 News Center. It's 5.5 minutes after 12. Energy Minister Philip Polwell is hoping to prevent hundreds of gas station workers from taking industrial action. Mr. Polwell is expected to meet with haulage contractors and representatives of the Jamaica Gasoline Retailers Association, JGRA, and the National Workers Union, NWU, this afternoon to resolve a pay dispute. This follows an ultimatum issued by the union after talks broke down with the JGRA. Mr. Polwell says he expects that the meeting will be able to resolve the issues put forward by the union.
We anticipate that sense will prevail all around, because there are some members who would not be affected. For example, the companies that the government operates, both Petrojam and Petcom, are quite prepared to move ahead with their negotiations. If there is industrial action, I do not believe that companies that are moving ahead should be affected in any way. I believe, though, overall, that there will not be the need for industrial action.
Energy Minister Philip Polwell. The Miami Circuit Court in Florida has dissolved its ruling for the freezing of the assets of former Eagle Group boss Dr. Paul Chen Young and stockbroker Hugh Croskery. Mr. Croskery, the chairman of Stocks and Securities Limited, a New Kingston brokerage known previously as Paul Chen Young and Associates, was ordered to disclose all other assets he holds on Chen Young's behalf within 14 days. This ruling was made on April 9. However, the court said the matter was dissolved because Jamaica's Supreme Court had lifted the freeze 5 days before the case was heard in Florida. On May 4, 2006, after 8 years of litigation, the Jamaican court handed down judgment in favor of Eagle Merchant Bank and Crown Eagle Life against their former CEO, Paul Chen Young. Both groups were failed entities that were rescued by regulators in the 1990s. Chen Young was earlier ordered to declare all his assets and not to dispose of or deal with any of them without the court's approval. A new unit that will help to raise awareness about HIV/AIDS in the Caribbean has been launched in the United Kingdom. The unit is hoping that its initiative called Bowling Out AIDS will help to reduce the impact of discrimination against people living with the disease. It's spearheaded by the British government and the England and Wales Cricket Board with the support of UK Sport. UK's International Development Minister Gareth Thomas says £1.5 million British pounds has been set aside to fund the unit, which will be set up in Barbados later this year. In 2006, there were 19,000 AIDS-related deaths in the Caribbean and 27,000 new infections. The Caribbean now has the second highest number of HIV cases, and it's reportedly the leading cause of death of adults under 44 years. At present, Africa has the highest number of HIV cases. Prime Minister Sir John Compton returned to St. Lucia this morning after spending more than 2 weeks in a United States hospital. The Prime Minister was admitted for more than a week after he suffered a series of minor strokes. Official sources confirmed that Sir John was discharged from a New York hospital last night, and sources close to his family say the Prime Minister appeared to be in good spirits and was happy to be back home. In the United States, the Senate is set to begin debating a key immigration bill that could give legal status to many of the estimated 12 million illegal immigrants. Last week, President George W. Bush and a bipartisan group of senators crafted a compromise version of the bill that would also strengthen border control. The deal follows months of bitter debate, and the bill's critics are continuing to voice opposition. The proposal must be passed by both houses of Congress to become law. President Bush, who has made immigration reform one of his priorities, says he wants to see new legislation in place by the end of this year. Finally, the finance ministers of the group of 8 G8 countries have warned against giving African states cheap loans that they will struggle to repay. In statements issued at the end of a 2-day meeting in Germany, the group stressed that African countries must manage their own finances responsibly. The G8 countries comprise the US, Britain, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Russia. In the meantime, the finance ministers of the G8 countries say Africa will be a focal point of the wider G8 summit next month. And those were the stories making midday news on Power 106 from the Gleaner Power 106 News Center. Sports stories are next.
Midday News was brought to you by Stewart's Hardware, where the price is right and the customer is first every time.
Ricky want to set up the house with the best from top to floor. But when him open up him wallet and him look at the money, him sorry him never have more.
Ricky don't let us stop you from do it. We said the best hardware you can get it. When the price is nice and you get advice, the choice could only be
Stewart's Hardware and Home Center, Mayton, Lionel Town and Old Harbour, where the price is right and the customer is always first.
Stewart's Hardware.
Sports, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM, Radio News Center.
Time now for your midday sports report on Power 106 FM from the Gleaner Power 106 News Centre. England and West Indies drew the first test after rain, and bad light limited them to only 20 overs on today's final day at Lord's. More than 3 hours were lost after showers arrived 35 minutes into the morning, and the light worsened 12 overs after play resumed. In between, Chris Gale, 47, and Darren Ganga, 31, had few problems as the Windies ended on 89 without loss, chasing 401. Scores: England 553 for 5 declared and 284 for 8 declared. West Indies 437 and 89 without loss. The second test will start on Friday. India lost 2 early wickets in their second innings to finish today's fourth day of the first test against Bangladesh at Chittagong on 44 for 2, 193 runs ahead. Bangladesh managed to avoid the follow-on largely due to the effort of Mashraf Mortaza, who scored 79, his maiden half-century. They were all out for 238, chasing India's 384 for 6 declared after the tea interval. India opener Dinesh Karthik, 15, and Sachin Tendulkar, 24, were not out at the close. Scores in that game: India 384 for 6 declared and 44 for 2, Bangladesh 238. Still on cricket, former West Indies fast bowler Michael Holding is now a member of the Stanford 2020 board, having accepted an invitation from the Texan billionaire Sir Alan Stanford. Holding, now a cricket commentator, was unanimously voted in by the board. Meanwhile, officials representing Stanford have indicated that the next tournament will be held in January 2008 at the Stanford Cricket Ground in Antigua. An additional 3 countries have confirmed their participation, joining the 19 territories from last year. They are Turks and Caicos Islands, the Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. In athletics, Kenia Sinclair and Noveline Williams were the only Jamaican winners at the Adidas Track Classic in Carson, California yesterday. Sinclair, the 2006 World Indoor Silver medalist, won the women's 1,500 meters in a smart 4 minutes, 5.56 seconds, ahead of American Shane Culpepper, 4 minutes, 5.95 seconds. Williams, a Commonwealth Games bronze medalist, clocked an impressive 50.66 seconds to win the women's 400 meters dash, ahead of American Dee Trotter, 51.13 seconds. Jamaica's Veronica Campbell stopped the clock in a fast 10.91 seconds, but was edged on the line by American Tori Edwards, 10.90, in the women's 100 meters dash. Aileen Bailey, 11.17, finished 7th. In the men's section, Steve Mullings was the best placed Jamaican. Mullings, 10.02, was third to American Tyson Gay, who clocked a sizzling wind-assisted 9.79 seconds to win the men's 100 meters. And Danny McFarlane, 48.83, finished fifth to American Kenneth Ferguson, 48.15, in the men's 400 meters hurdles. Football now. Seba Youths and ACS Sports Club will meet this afternoon at Irvine High in the first semi-final of the Western Sports Champions Football Cup knockout. The game will start at 3 o'clock. The other semi-final between longtime rivals Violet Kickers and Seba United will be played tomorrow. And Western Confederation champions Granville edged CASAFA Super League winners Police National 1-0 at the Edward Seaga Sports Complex in yesterday's opening round of the National Premier League playoffs. In the day's other game, St. George's and South Central Confederation's champions Sporting Central Academy played to a goalless affair at Lynch Park in Portland. The 4 teams will play 6 matches on a home and away basis, with the top 2 advancing to the National Premier League. And that's your midday sports report on Power 106. Midday weather is next.
The Gleaner Power 106 FM weather at noon is brought to you by Carby's Souvenir Discount Center and Craft Village, Twin Gates Plaza. Be Jamaican, buy Jamaican, and Carby's Discount Center, Twin Gates Plaza, Constant Spring Road. So much more for less.
The National Meteorological Service is reporting that there is a surface trough to the west of the island. On the local weather scene this afternoon, expect mostly cloudy conditions with scattered showers and isolated thundershowers. Tonight will be partly cloudy. Tomorrow, look for partly cloudy skies with isolated showers and thundershowers across Jamaica. And for the next few days, look for partly cloudy conditions with isolated showers mainly in the afternoons. And that's your midday weather report from the Gleaner Power 106 News Centre.
Gleaner Power 106 FM weather at noon was brought to you by Carvis Souvenir Discount Center and Craft Village, Twin Gates Plaza. Be Jamaican, buy Jamaican. And Carvis Discount Center, Twin Gates Plaza, Constant Spring Road. So much more for less.
And now to end midday news on Power 106, a reminder of the main stories. Electoral Commission Chairman Professor Errol Miller says there will be strict rules for elections due in October, by October. St. James Police charges the son of a politician in connection with yesterday's reported shootout between their colleagues and a group of gunmen. A 37-year-old patient at the Savlamar Hospital is suspected to have committed suicide. News in the region, St. Lucia Prime Minister Sir John Compton returns to that country after spending more than 2 weeks in a U.S. hospital. And in sports, England and West Indies drew the first test after rain and bad light limited them to only 20 overs on today's final day at Lord's. And that's midday news, sports and weather on Power 106 FM. Your next newscast will be headline news at 3. From the Gleaner Power 106 News Centre, I'm Stacey Ann Smith.
What a price! Now you can get a brand new 2007 Mitsubishi Lancer from Motor Sales at the unbelievable price of $1.65 million while stocks last, with CVT transmission, dual airbags, ABS brakes, and 1.6-liter engine, plus many other features. There'll never be a deal like this again. The 2007 Lancer at Motor Sales. Everybody loves the Lancer. Drive yours home today.
Nasty, troublesome cough. Give it something you can really feel working. Cavonia. Cough medicine with clout.
Now there's a remedy you can rely on for troublesome cough and blocked, stuffy nose. Cavonia. Mentholated cough mixture. Nighttime formula. Bronchial balsam and throat spray. Blocked, stuffy nose? Give it something you can really feel working. Cavonia. Made in England by Thornton & Ross and distributed by Medimpex Jamaica Limited.
Power 106.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award, on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Thank you very much. We're back here online. The election is not constitutionally due by October. This keeps being repeated in the media. It is not true. The 5-year term, begins on the day of the first meeting of Parliament following an election. We checked with Gordon House and discovered that, and were told that was on the 14th of November. In the case of the 2002 election, that the first meeting of Parliament was on the 14th of November. So the election would ordinarily be due by the 14th of November, and then there is, in certain defined circumstances, there's the possibility of a 3-month delay. So that could take us down to February of 2008. Right? Okay, we got back to our telephone callers. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Yes.
How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad. How are you?
Well, I go out after me done talk to you, go buy half cure white rum this time.
Half cure white rum?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes?
You remember me, the man will tell you, say, if me now borrow drink half, one white rum, and then me hear some house abundant and a PNP man. From Mr. Patson right down to the last pole in the yard. Tell me some house abundant with the next rum.
Yes.
Because the PNP is a liar.
Yes?
Well, Mr. Perkins, before me get to where me really call you about, you ever hear a thing named sympathy vote?
Sympathy vote?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I suppose that there is. Yes.
Well, I don't think a little bird was supposed to push something through your window or under your doorstep, but I don't think you get it come now. You say anything about it.
Oh, yes. What was that?
But sympathy vote will kill Deanie Piet.
Sympathy vote going what?
Kill Deanie Piet.
Oh, yes? Why?
Mrs. Dietrich, it is reported, and we know that before. It is reported that Mrs. Dietrich is going to take over for her husband.
Are you serious?
It was an RJR at 12 o'clock, and we know that before. So, I hear them about out, and I hear man tell you about the coffin. I want Mr. Piet or the ombudsman come call to me when you make Mr. Piet coffin.
You make Mr. Piet coffin?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean coffin?
Then, when the lady I go run against him, he might go lose by more than 5,000 votes, so he might go dead, and we have to go bury him.
No, man, him not going dead.
What am I going to do?
No, man.
He not dead? Well, he will be a... You remember the story about Mandrake, the living dead? Well, he'll be a living dead. Anyway, Mr. Perkins, we know how short time you have. You remember these words, sir? If I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't open my mouth.
Yes.
But that same man if he knew then, when he castigate us what he said about the judge, what would be the repercussions? He wouldn't have opened him out.
He would have been well advised to keep his damn mouth shut.
I was going to say that man wasn't around. I know good for that. I said that thing. Say keep in their mouth shut.
Yeah.
Mr. Perkins, that man is a loose cannon.
You think so?
Him is more than a loose cannon. Because, I mean, when a man says that, I believe, and then he might be out upon one of the platform, I sing. You know, it seemed last night on one platform.
I heard him. He didn't sound all that bad.
Sound bad, sir?
He didn't sound all that bad.
It looked like something wrong with your ears. Anyway, I had said long ago that Manchester get 3 certain JLP seats.
Are you serious?
Man, I had anything that send come. Even Mr. Pattis now, a sister P, me did one that send come. Make man I had kill him with beating. Anything that send come against man I had. The lady, Mrs. Dietrich, is going to whoop Dini Piet. And Sister Sally, I hear once ago they said that they was going to send back the honorable lawyer, big lawyer there, who man I had nearly killed with beating.
Who is that?
Them they go send him to come run in the seat against Sister Sally. But I know him don't want to hear nothing about Manchester at all, because when man I had they done with him the last time, him couldn't come back. Them have to send another man. So him don't want to hear nothing about Manchester. So me certain say him now come no way.
But Mr. Junior is a man I had?
No, sir, he can't have so much name. A John Wayne. He no name man I had. He name John Wayne.
But he been winning consistently up there.
Well,
hold on just a moment.
My mother say he go pass my exam because me have brain poor. Mother's poor patty make me strong so me can learn at school. But teacher say me chat too much.
The time by Mother's Power Patchy is
12:30.
Forget everything you think you know about pickup trucks. Mitsubishi Motors introduces the all-new, totally redesigned L200 pickup. Forward-thinking style and a tradition of rugged performance in a range of 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, double and single cab models. The all-new Mitsubishi L200 and L200 Sport Hero. Available now at Motor Sales. The L200 excitement unleashed.
When it comes to top quality, when you want great taste, find food for your family, put Eve on your plate. Get value for your money, top quality, great taste. Find food for your family, put Eve on your plate.
Eve Foods, lots of nutrition, a fine food tradition.
Find food for your family, put Eve on your plate.
Eve, the first family of fine foods.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. Back
Yes,
online.
Mr. Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
The other one day in last week, on an evening, I heard Mr. Bailey on 102 interviewing Mr. Don Anderson. And when Mr. Bailey asked Mr. Anderson some questions about how he arrived at the PNP, people said the island is going in the wrong direction. And then another poll says something else to show the PNP like them have some, credibility or whatever. And when Mr. Anderson don't answer the question, I came to the conclusion that Mr. Anderson is a bigger PNP than Sister P, the side steerer.
Why you think so?
Well,
what was it that he said?
there are a couple men in Jamaica who, when them talk, you realize that them have on them left foot.
But what did Mr. Anderson say?
Well, his conclusion.
Or what did you understand from what he
why
said?
58% of the people say the country was going in the wrong direction. And when he said that certain sister P's whatever was so far ahead of Mr. Golding, and when he said that the people did not blame the PNP or the government for the high crime rate and the scarcity of jobs.
Yes.
I think him have him left foot pan in right foot and him right foot pan in left foot.
Well, I don't know. Maybe what he was telling you was that the people are stupid.
Well, there's another man who wants with his feet to say, we stupid too, sir. And him is even bigger than Mr. Anderson.
Yes?
He's Mr. Buchanan.
He say you stupid?
Him no say me stupid. Him so stupid that him do him no sense stupid.
Oh, come now. You mustn't say that.
Sir?
You mustn't say that. That's
well, then when Miss Lady they say about Jezebel, you so quick he run to say, he must apologize. Then how when him say, and when Roger Clark say, nobody no want apologize.
Well.
That's why me I say them shoes upon the wrong foot.
Well. You can judge them by that.
Well, me I tell you, sir. Jamaicans no idiot no more, and we have feel the pinch, PNP have feel the pinch because they did expect milk and honey, but a bit of gall. Enough of them I get. Sir?
Yes, all right. Thank you very much. All the best to you. Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. P.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, not too bad. Hear me now. Last year I read a paper from Transparency International.
Yes.
He said corruption. It said corruption affect the poorest people in every country.
Yes.
Before it affect anybody else.
Yes.
And I'm inclined to believe that. How say you?
Yes, I think I agree with you.
Yes.
It's a high... Well, I don't think it is that it affects people, different people are different. But what is happening is that corruption is a very expensive, very costly.
Very costly.
All right?
Indeed.
Yes. And the poor are least able to afford it.
Yes.
And
there is some startling thing being carried on in this country that make the parliamentary land very, very irrelevant.
Yes.
They disregard it completely. You can hear most of the disclosure, you can hear most of it on the club or some other political meeting. But it's bisect the parliament completely. It doesn't go to the parliament at all. I was listening to Mr. Dinapate yesterday, saying, him going to boast our story, and him going to boast our story. That is the way he was going on,
Yes, I heard it.
I'm going to boast it, I'm going to boast it. No. This is a minister of the Jamaican government. And he's going to boast a story. And that is his mannerism.
Well.
Instead of take it to part. Look, he's treating the crowd, he's treating the people like a bunch of asses. You must take it there. You take it there and tell us what. Because if you have a story, you are the minister of local government. And I say, and I will not withdraw this, whoever put him and the other people inside that ministry of local government is a stroke of genius or a stroke of stupidity. How could you have two persons go and help a letter like that, that when one says something, the other one have a somersault and apologize?
Oh, that happened?
That happened. One of you apologized. It happened at the National Solid Waste. And one of the biggest debacle that has taken in this country over is the National Solid Waste. One, the Minister of State said, They get paid for gas oil. They get paid for tires. They get paid whether they work or not. And he went ranting and raving until I hear that the ministry has apologized. The ministry has apologized for that irrational outburst.
Uh-huh. Yes, well.
They're playing fool up. They're playing fool up with the people. Oh, we do hear the outburst with other carryings on at the National Solid Waste. Look, I told you one time that we are being taken to the cleaners and people telling us that they want reparation for slavery.
Uh-huh.
Take the debacle that took place at JPS. JPS was sold out to Mirren Corporation. And after it was sold out to Mirren Corporation, about 210 million it was sold for. And all sort of carrying on and going, and you hear that good works and so on and so forth. Right. Then they're going to sell it out. JPS, they're going to sell out. Mirren is going to sell out JPS. Right. After Mirren decide to sell after they clear themselves out of bankruptcy, they bring another firm in named Marabeni.
Uh-huh.
And after they bring in Marabeni, I hear a deal is done. Wasn't taken to Parliament. I think a member of the opposition, Mr. Golden or Mr. Mullins, took it to Parliament and said something about it. And we were warned, nearly threatened not to say anything about Marabeni, because Marabeni have this, have that, they're on the stock exchange of America and so on and so forth, and God knows what. Marabeni make a cool $600 million out of JPS.
Marabeni?
Marabeni's making money.
They haven't taken it over yet.
But they sold it, making a hell of a profit.
Yes, but it's Mirren who made the profit.
That's it. Mirren, that's it. I had my thumbs wrong for a minute. Mirren make a lot of money. She made a lot of money.
Yes.
Now Marabeni don't get in the driving seat yet. We have the new slave masters don't take we over yet, but that slave master, Mirren, is finished with us.
Well, Mirren got very handsomely rewarded for
that slave master named
its
Mirren.
$210 million investment,
yes,
you know.
That 210, that slave master. Nobody wants reparation from them because it's a done deal. Marabeni is going to come in, another locust is coming and taking, and supposed to take another grain of corn. Right.
Yes, but people apparently have changed their minds and think that the country is going in the right direction.
That's why we have sold out Petrojam now. That's how we are having to sell out Petrojam. I am told...
Did you hear the discussion on the...
I heard it and it burned me to the gall. It burned me everlasting. I hear when Miss Pratap Singh come back later on and say it's about 128 million. Mr. Perkins, don't laugh because these people are crazy, you know.
She didn't know the price before.
She didn't know the price. And then she come back and says about now Miss Pratap Singh, if you watch and listen to her during the traffic guru debacle, she didn't know anything whatsoever. She knew nothing whatsoever. She was completely at sea to the game. And this morning she didn't know anything either.
But she found out.
She found out.
When Emily...
300 million this thing is purported to value. And 49% is sold...
For 64 million.
For 64 million. And we don't need reparation for slavery. You know?
Well...
And it is Mr. Powell, this youthful, exuberant minister. This is the man. I remember, you know, when he was doing and selling us out to the Intech Fund. When he was damaging that, a man wrote an article from up in Brownstown that pays one of them colleges there say how sorry he was for Mr. Paulwell. And I wrote a letter to the editor of the Gleaner and said, look here, it was a beautifully written article, but he blundered at the end of it because Mr. Paulwell hasn't lost a penny of his money. The people who lose money is the taxpayers of this country.
You know, sir, you better start thinking seriously about this, because it is possible that one morning you might wake up to find somebody knocking on your door. And when you open the door, you discover that you have been sold.
I've been sold. Yes, yes. And the only difference would be is that it is said when they were taking those from Africa, when they were taking his black men, catch up little black men, tie them up, and get them on board the ship.
Yes.
These lot is tying us up, They're tying us up, And they're not putting a card, they're putting a mental card around us.
Yes.
What is happening out at Yallas, out at the bridge out there? The people who didn't
the
tender
minister,
for the bridge.
I haven't been able to read the minister's article.
They didn't tender for the bridge, but they didn't get the contract.
Uh-huh.
They got the contract.
But have you read the minister's response to Mr. Wignall in this morning's Observer?
This week Observer?
It's in this morning's Observer.
This morning Observer.
Yes.
No, I don't read it yet. I don't read it yet. But I'll have to get to grips with it. They are selling us out left, right, and center. And it's like last lick at school, It's like last lick. Everybody taking a last lick.
Yes.
Before we go home. What is it for? Why it's not being taken to Parliament? The High Court of the land. Take it there and make we hear what is being sold and what not being sold.
Yes. But I should have thought that that Parliament would have been required to approve of it. I don't know.
I don't know what is going on, and when you listen to it, somebody said something about D-Buck now. Every time I hear his name, I remember one of the greatest storytellers of all times, Hans Christian Andersen.
Yes.
Because I don't know what is he saying. I really don't understand what Hans Christian Andersen, or I wonder if I am abusing the name of Hans Christian Andersen. Now, this man had a seat. He had a seat. And he barely win. He scraped on by 80 votes.
Yes.
And Reverend Stanley Redwood is in his seat now. I'm sure it's not the seat. And he is saying it's going to be won. Well, if it's going to be won, why him never go back? Why is Leila, Louis, why him didn't run back then?
Well, maybe.
Because him know he would have get a thrashing, and Redwood is going to get a thrashing too. And every minute he come and try to befuddle the brains of people. I'm not even listening to him.
Maybe he sees the direction in which the country is going, son. Isn't too happy about it.
Complete. And I tell you another thing too. I will not apologize to any of them for what I say. Even if Mr. Blair come up here, and if he bring Jesus with him, the only way I will apologize if Jesus tell me to apologize, not Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Mr. Blair, if he tell me to apologize, I said, depart from me, I know you not.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. All the best to you.
Employers, remember you have a responsibility to submit your annual returns for 2006. Ensure that you include the correct name, TRN and NIS number of each employee. Submit your NHT annual returns now. The time by the NHT is 12:45.
This Labor Day, you've got a good reason to get out and work. Ace Super Center is getting you ready with their amazing Labor Day specials. Great prices on tools, hardware, paints, houseware, and more. Everything you need for the house, garden, and Labor Day project is at Ace Super Center. So don't miss these amazing Labor Day specials at Ace Super Center off Mandela Highway. Ace, the helpful place. Offer ends May 31. Conditions apply.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-888 0866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back online. Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Good afternoon,
Happy to be at the program for the first time.
Yes, happy to have you.
I've been trying months and couldn't get in.
Oh, is that so?
It's a very good program.
Well, you've done it.
Yes, I'm here today. I like the name of your program, the Thinking People program.
Uh-huh.
All right. One of my thinking is that Jamaicans don't think for themselves.
Well,
most Jamaicans.
perhaps not as much as they should.
Most Jamaicans.
Mm.
The people that would reinstate the government, they don't think for themselves. People thinking for them and tell them what to do. And they do what people say. They don't do what their mind tell them to do.
Mm.
The thing about hospital, just Easter Monday gone, I had a family relative that met in an accident. And because we have no money, we are the poorest sort.
Uh-huh.
Until now, his jawbone is broken and his teeth are smashed. And until now, he went to the St. Anne's Hospital. They sent him to Kingston, send him out back, and until now, he don't get a proper attention because there's no money.
And he's not, he's older than 18.
Yes, he's over 18. He's a big man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'll go to the
It's
NICE
cruel,
business.
it's terrible.
I'll go to the NICE business. I'm 72. And I work all over Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
And on my pay slips, they do take NIS.
Yeah.
I worked for about 5 years at the Jamalco. And when I went to claim my NIS,
Yeah.
they told me that I didn't contribute enough.
Oh?
They gave me back $4,500 and said that's a contribution. So that's what they call that. They said that's all I can get. And if I don't like it, I must go and contest it.
Oh, yeah.
And from early days, I've been paying NIS on to say that some of the people who take the NIS don't give in the contribution. And I didn't go and check and find out. I didn't know that I should go and check out because they didn't educate me that I think it was a compulsory that they take my money, so I believe it's a compulsory that I should get the NIS.
I thought so.
Yes. When they talk, all the things that the officials are talking about the NIS, I am a experienced victim. I don't get any. And now I can't work and I don't have any other means
Yes.
of earning. But I've got to pay the light bill and the water rate.
Uh-huh.
And the taxes for the property. They have a thing they call impasse.
Yes.
All these things are just sham. I went and the man asked me if I live in a board house or a concrete house. I said concrete house. He asked me if I have fridge. I said, a man of my age working, you don't think I should prepare something for myself? I would provide something for myself. Him laugh after me. From call me a rich man. But right as I'm talking to you now, I know that I'm living below the poverty line.
Yes.
And thousands of the people that are living below the poverty line, if they get a chance to vote, I'm trembling. I believe they're going to vote in the same government that is suppressing us and oppressing us.
You think so?
I'm trembling. I'm at the ghetto sides of places, and
if you ever talk Jamaica Labour Party, you go to lose your life, you go to lose the clothes, you might have to run with it. It happened over and over, Mr. Perkins. Don't deceive when people say they have to run from them good house. And I think these people will do anything. I listen to the program and I hear I'm not a great reader and things like that, but I listen and I think they are doing everything and anything to get their fifth term. What I would ask Jamaicans, listen and think for yourself and make their own good proper choice.
All right, sir.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you very much.
Have a great
Okay, hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Yes, Mr. Perkins. Good day.
Good afternoon.
I am calling you on behalf of JPS.
JPS?
Yes. Somehow I'm having a concern. Now I have a business and I also live somewhere. And what I have found out is that they're charging us a rate for the business as a straight rate of $7.84 per kilowatt. When I'll check the residential aspect of it, they charge you for the first 100 at $5.08. And when you check the next section, it says $8.93. When I divide that, it's telling us that we are paying 8.23 cents per kilowatt hours for residential and 7.84 for commercial. Now I asked how you are to explain, and they are telling me that I have to talk to JPS. I did talk to JPS, and they are trying to justify.
So what is it? What is the residential rate?
The residential rate after I divide it, it's 8.23.
Oh?
Yes. So I told him that it's got to be an anomaly, and he's trying to point out to me that it is correct. Now I really don't understand why his business.
I wonder if we can get hold of Mr. Geddes.
I would love to find out. Because it is really serious on the householders. And no wonder people are talking about their paying so much.
The residential rate is 8 point what?
The residential rate is 8.23 after I divide it. Because as you know, they charge the first 100 kilowatt.
Yes.
At one separate rate from the next. The next kilowatt from $5.08. The next in line is 8.93. When I divide all of that, it works out to 8.23 per kilowatt overall. And I'm saying that it's got to be an
and the commercial rate is what?
It's 7.843.
7.843?
Correct.
That's very interesting.
And a lot of people are not aware this thing has been happening for a while. But this is something that we really need to address. The question I'm asking, is the commercial rate less than residential?
And these are what? Jamaican dollars?
Yes, these are Jamaican dollars.
Jamaican cents.
And I'm talking about current bills. I would love for you to get Mr. Geddes to clarify this, because it is something that people are being kept in the dark.
We're getting Mr. Geddes.
Okay.
You say you're also in business?
Yes, I am.
So you have
I have both bills in looking on at this point.
Well, that's very interesting. But how is it? Well, I don't know. It's very, very, very interesting.
You realize the amount of time that they are using the residential. And what I asked the gentleman today, should I live at my business instead of at home then? What happened to the people who don't have a business? It is cheaper to operate a business with electricity than residential. I think it should be the other way around. That's what I was told initially. So I'm really surprised that we're having it in this context right now. We should be discussing this in terms of residential and commercial. So I would really love for some clarity to be added to this. So
I suppose that part of what is happening is that they're trying to keep the commercial rates down, so as not to try to encourage some investment in the country.
But are we saying that we should take all the business to at home? Are we saying we should take some of this at home, the business?
No, I don't know.
Well, I guess that's what they're saying. or charge us one straight rate. Because if they are depriving the residential resident in charging them 8.23 as to comparison to 7.84, then it is serious.
Yes.
And then they charge you for the first 100 at 5.08.
First 100 at 5.
0.08.
Okay. We have Mr. Geddes online. Hello?
Hello?
Mr. Geddes, how are you?
Not too bad, Mr. Perkins.
There's a gentleman here who is telling me a tale. I want you to listen to it and comment for me.
Okay.
Hello, caller?
Yes, Mr.
Yes, tell him about it.
I called the OUR recently, and what they told me that I should talk to the GPS before I can call them and to make any type of a remark.
Any type of remarks or
well, a complaint.
Okay.
A complaint. I called GPS this morning, and I asked them what are the rates for commercial as to residential. What they said to me that they have the first 100 hours.
Kilowatt hours. Yeah.
Kilowatt hours. Yes. They charge you one rate. Then the next they charge you another rate.
That's quite right. Yes.
What I am finding out that when I add the first 100 hours, kilowatt hours, to the 451 as the next whatever, it works out to 8.23 per kilowatt hour. They're charging you more.
That's the average. That's the average cost per kilowatt hour.
That's the average cost per kilowatt hour. When I check the commercial rate, it is showing me 7.843.
Okay, caller, let me explain two things quickly. Sorry. First of all, let me just get something that's very dear to my heart clear here.
Yes.
When you called the OUR, it was just to get the rates?
Just to find out whether or not the commercial rate was more expensive than the residential.
That's all. You just wanted information.
That's all I asked.
Okay, my sincere apologies for that, because that should never have happened. What should have happened is that they should have given you the information. What happens is that if you have a complaint against JPS,
yes,
what will happen is that we advise you to speak with the utility company first,
yes,
because they, are the first point of contact, and they can try to resolve it. Now, if they don't resolve it to your satisfaction, then you appeal, and then the OUR commences its investigation.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly to get information, there's no way that anybody should tell you that kind of information, that you need to call the utility company first before calling.
Well, that's what I was told.
So, right. No, I'm not disputing that you're told that. I'm just tendering an apology.
Okay.
Because that should never have happened.
Okay.
Okay. Second thing, as it relates to the rates, now, for the householder, if your usage, once your usage goes beyond a certain point per kilowatt, a number of kilowatt hours, it will work out on average to higher than the rate 20. The rate 20, the small.
Hold on just a moment for me, please, gentlemen.
Retailers, Advanced Business Solutions is the solution to all your business needs, including point of sales, store fixtures, and display products. Call 906-9965. The time by Advanced Business Solutions is 1 o'clock.
Hey, Red, rodeos are coming.
Rodeo. The premium energy drink. Distributed by Brosco Distributors Limited, 17.5 Q Road. Telephone 908-1211.
Welcome, Rodeo Energy Drink. Available island-wide.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-888 0866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Right. What I was saying is that in terms of the rate, there's what we call a lifeline rate of about $5 per kilowatt hour for...
$5?
Approximately.
5.08.
Yes, 5 point something.
Dollars per kilowatt hours?
Sorry?
Per kilowatt hour?
Yes, for the first 100 kilowatt
Oh,
hours.
so hold on a little bit. These figures that he has been giving are dollars, not cents.
No, they're dollars.
Yes.
Oh, hell.
These are dollars per kilowatt hour.
1 kilowatt hour.
Right. It's roughly, for the first 100, it's $5 per kilowatt hour.
Uh-huh.
If everything that you use above the 100 kilowatt hours is then calculated at about $9 per kilowatt hour.
Uh-huh.
Now, the commercial rate, the rate 20 is approximately 7 point something dollars per kilowatt hour. Now, at some point, however, most of JPS customers, actually in the rate 10 customers, that's the householders, actually use about 100 kilowatt hours of electricity or less. There's a substantial amount of persons who are on that level. For those using more than a certain amount, I'm not sure where the threshold is.
Yeah, but Mr. Geddes, on a point of correction there, sir.
Yeah.
A lot of them use is rate 10, and they only use less, 100 or less. Are you know anybody in Jamaica pay $508?
No, it
for the light bill?
It doesn't work out that way because they still have fuel and IPP and the customer service charge. What I'm saying is that a substantial number of their customer base, those persons use under 100 kilowatt hours or just about 100. Yes. Base is 540,000 approximately, and I'm saying to you that a significant chunk, I mean like maybe about close to 200,000 or so persons actually are using what we call a lifeline, not exceeding by much, just about 100 kilowatt hours of electricity. What I'm saying is that for the persons who use, say, up to about 400 or more kilowatt hours of electricity a month, the average per kilowatt hour does increase and would probably end up being more than the smallest commercial rate, which is the rate 20. But, you know, we had a case once with a customer from the western part of Jamaica whose light bill was, he had a house and was in the millions. Roughly. Like about maybe I think 1 million. It was a substantial amount. I don't remember the exact figure. Now, if he could have switched to a rate 20, he would have saved a lot of money.
What is a rate 20?
A rate 20 is like a shop, any commercial entity, small entity, not like a supermarket or a hotel or a large manufacturing plant that would be used in, say, in the rate 40 category. So a rate 20 is really a small commercial enterprise. Maybe, a bar or a small shop, but not anything that using like, a lot of deep freeze or cold rooms or anything like that. That would definitely go up into the rate 20, the rate 40 category. So there is a marginal difference at some point of consumption between the small commercial users and the residential users. But the fact is that the commercial user doesn't get that lifeline. So anytime that if they use 100 kilowatt hours per month, they would still pay it at that $7, whereas the residential customer would always get the benefit of the first 100 kilowatt hours at $5 per kilowatt hour.
Mr. Geddes,
sorry?
Do you know offhand what the rate is in, let us say, Trinidad?
Not offhand. Some time ago I looked at what they call the Carrilec reporting. But I mean, it's something that you can get. I think Carlick has a website also that you could, and I certainly could get it for you.
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, Mr. Perkins, quickly, we spoke some time ago with one of your callers from Clarendon, I think it was, a lady who had a problem.
Yes.
And I was to have gotten back to you. We didn't, but we did bring some resolution to the issue for her with JPS, and we were able to sort out what in fact had gone wrong.
Good.
Yes.
I don't want to get sidetracked on this.
No, not at all, sir. I was just updating.
The whole point is still
your concern.
My concern. We should not be charged more than what the commercial rate is. We should not be charged more.
Well,
and that's what I'm saying to you, sir. We are charged.
I'm not sure why you arrive at that.
Let me make the point.
I'm not sure on what basis you arrive at that conclusion. Because
when you divide it, Mr. Geddes, when you divide it, you are paying 8.23 cents per kilowatt.
Depends on how much you use. But then if you have a very large house that uses more than a small shop on a corner, why would you think that you should be necessarily paying a lower rate than the shop? And in fact, I tell you that there's a school of thought, that residential customers create a more expensive demand on the utility company than the commercial customers.
In what regard?
Sorry?
In what regard?
Why is that so?
Does it cost more for the company to supply a kilowatt of electricity to a householder than to a company?
It depends. It can.
In what way?
That's why I said there's a school of thought that it's more expensive to run lines into several individual homes than to drop off power at one commercial.
But we're not talking about. We're not talking about several individual homes, huh? We're talking about one person's home.
Yes,
Does it cost?
But Mr. Perkins, you'd have to look at the overall picture. You can't say, you can't compare one person with, you'd have to look at the category of...
But we're comparing one person with one company.
Mr. Perkins, but the cost is not just one person. The cost is, does it cost you more to supply electricity to 400 or 500,000 customers, individual customers, than it costs you to supply it to 30 big businesses? And if the answer is that it costs you more to run the line to those 500,000, then they extract a bigger cost on the utility company.
No, but the 500,000 will presumably be giving you a higher return.
Well, Mr. Geddes,
higher gross
that's not
return.
relevant, Mr. Geddes.
Well, sir, I'm sorry that you don't see it as well.
No, but how can we? Because the consumer are the ones that are bearing the brunt, especially if they are residential. Are you telling the people that they must live in their business place and not to go home?
No, I'm not telling you that.
This is exactly what you guys are telling us.
But caller, what I'm saying to you is that the fact is that there is a rate, and the rate for the small commercial customer is, I think,
but that rate, Mr. Geddes, that rate seems to have been arbitrarily determined.
No, these rates were not arbitrarily developed, Mr.
I can see no reason why the householder should be paying for electricity at a higher rate than the commercial operator.
No, but you see, Mr. Perkins, first of all, your premise is incorrect. It's not that the householder is paying at a higher rate.
We are, sir.
I heard your point. Caller, I heard your point. What I'm saying to you is, you are paying at a higher rate, but that doesn't mean that all consumers or all rate 10 customers of JPS are paying a higher rate than a commercial customer. What happens is that your consumption is
if your consumption is above 100 kilowatts.
It's not just 100, because it would have to be, I don't have the mathematical figure on me no, but when you calculate it out, it would be somewhere maybe in the region of about 400 kilowatt hours would be the threshold at which, if you use more than that, your rate would on average work out to higher than
but I thought you said this would that when you go above 100 kilowatt hours, you'll be paying more.
No, it's not just being above 100 kilowatt hours, because you still have to take into account the first 100. So let's use 200 kilowatt hours, Mr. Perkins. If you pay $5 per kilowatt hour for the first 100, and then you pay and then you pay $9 per kilowatt hour for the second 100.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just saying, if that's the case, then you have 200 kilowatt hours, and 9 and 5 is 14, and you divide that by 2, you work out to about $7 per kilowatt hour, if that is your consumption. So I'm saying it really depends on what your consumption is. That will determine the rate.
But I can't understand
whether your average rate is higher.
This is contrary to every other principle of business. I mean, usually the man who buys more gets a discount.
But not only that, Mutty, the residential customer are penalized. And I am saying that cannot be fair for residential customers.
Sir, that's a very unfair statement.
No, it's not unfair, Harvey.
But I just said...
I am looking on the bill, Mr. Geddes, and I am saying that it's
individual, and I appreciate that it's of concern to you as one individual.
And not many.
But, sir, but I'm saying the majority of customers, you say... A lot of persons benefit from this lifeline, that low $5 rate, and what you're doing is with one...
Mr. Geddes.
One fell swoop, you're just wiping out and saying,
Mr. Geddes,
that is of no consequence.
What I would love to see in that case is that you don't pass rate 20. You at least charge the 100 at X amount, but the next step you go to rate 20. Yeah. That's what I would love to see.
All right, gentlemen.
That is a more better way to deal with it.
Thank you very much. But I find this very interesting, Mr. Geddes and caller.
Okay, sir. Okay, Mr.
Very, very interesting. Thank you very much. Okay, hello? 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 What in hell's name is going on? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Yeah, Mutty, hi, how are you doing?
Not too bad, how are you?
Man, I've been waiting like 2 months to get to your program.
Oh, is that so? I'm sorry about that.
Yes, man. Sometime in March I want to get to you. Because I overheard somebody say you is the biggest, you the only politician they have a problem with.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, you know those politicians that wear in the red and black.
Red and black?
Yes.
What
because
is
they're more politicians than the Prime Minister and the MPs.
Who are the politicians?
When they come on the public radio and said you should apologize for misleading the people of Jamaica, I think they should apologize for misleading the people of Jamaica.
What am I supposed to mislead them about?
When you were talking about that incident where the 30 heavily harmed men
with
from
what?
the valley.
The 30
Yes.
Well, it was at one time it was 30, at another time 50.
In the morning it was 30. In the evening it becomes 50.
50, yes.
So who is misleading the people of Jamaica?
Well,
Is it your information or the police information?
Well, it was police, and the information came from the police in both instances.
Exactly. So they're the one misleading the people of Jamaica. So I don't see why they should take
If
it out
the
on
people
you.
of Jamaica were being misled, yes.
You know, I mean, the people of Jamaica, they need to sit down and listen to what is going on and have an understanding, and don't be fooled by other people.
Yes, indeed. Hold on just a moment for me.
Quality, affordable gypsum board, green board, Duroc board, steel stud, and more. Value for your money. Available at All Island Gypsum Distributors Limited. The time by the #1 construction supply store, All Island Gypsum Distributors Limited, 960-7381 is
1:15.
At first, I thought I was seeing doubles.
I thought I was tasting doubles.
The size is amazing.
The taste is amazing.
The double zinger is back. Even bigger than before.
And even more flavorful.
Yes, the hot and spicy double zinger is back and now available in spicy barbecue. Amazing size, amazing flavor. The spicy barbecue double zinger. The double zinger sandwich. I got take some heating. KFC, it's finger licking good.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. Back online. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you go out there and you do something wrong, and somebody chasing after you, you're not gonna run to your home, right?
You're not going to do it?
You're not gonna run to your home for them to know that that's where you're living.
Uh-huh.
So if they're chasing gunmen, they go on through the Maypen Cemetery. Maypen Cemetery, from what I know, is bushes.
Well,
so how can they pinpoint that those men were from Tivoli?
Uh-huh.
Why they have to, I don't know, because every time it's coming on to a general election, Tivoli Garden has to be doing something wrong.
Well, I tell you, that is what one expects. In the same way that one expects the polls to say that the PNP are ahead. So, as the election approaches, one expects something to happen at Tivoli Gardens.
You see, Jamaica people need to think wisely. They've been jumping and shouting that yes, the PNP is doing this and they are doing that, but they are.
Of course, by talking about it, perhaps we make it less likely that the butchery will occur. So.
I overheard they put in the NHT benefit now to 3.5 million.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. And then people smiling that they can own a home now because they're getting 3.5 from NHT.
Uh-huh.
But when they go to NHT, it's another problem.
This is
their salary has to be about $120,000 a month.
Yes.
To qualify for that 3.5.
Yes, well.
At the same time, the prices of houses going up.
Yes.
So I don't know who they're gonna own it.
Well.
So if they wanna be fooled by every glitter and think it's gold, then they need to think again.
There really is no substitute to providing opportunities for people to become employed and to create wealth and to earn decent salaries. There's no substitute for that,
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. It's like you're full in the grocery store with grocery and no money to buy it.
Yes.
So people are going to be still forever hungry.
Yes. Quite true.
But they cannot keep their own word because every day they say that this is not going to happen, that's not going to happen. And a day or two after the same thing happen.
Well.
So they must mislead the people of Jamaica.
Yes.
And that's what Mr. Golden, if he said he's going to do this and do that, if he gets in office. When he gets there, he should remember his word and don't walk back on it.
Uh-huh.
That's all I'm saying to them.
All right, sir?
Yes, Mutty, you have a good day, man.
Good. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Hello?
Yes?
Yes, you seem to have lost your caller.
No, sir, you're on.
Afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. There seems to be so many things, so many issues, crime, police, brutality, unemployment, and they all seem interconnected.
Uh-huh.
And I would like to just suggest that there seems to be one thing that is on the line, all of this, that is maintaining the situation. And I think we have a situation where, whether by constitution, law, or people's beliefs, they have allowed party interests to be put beyond that of the country.
Party interests to do?
Put before the interests of the country.
Yes.
That seems to be at the center of our problems. It seems to be the driving force behind this complex, this web of issues that we seem to have facing us. And an election is coming, and I wonder if we could put the debate in a very clear way to listen to see what proposals they have for changing the system of governance so that it requires that the interest of the country be put before the interest of party. And I'm listening to see.
How does a system of government accomplish that?
Well, I would do one area I think could help Wilmot is I think you need to separate the party interest from that of the executive. That is, a man can't be a member of a political party and be a minister at the same time. He can't be prime minister and head of the party because when traffic bureau hits you, you have to decide whether you're
Hold on, you can't be prime minister and head of the party?
No, not at the same time, no. Can't be head of the... Because, as with the traffic bureau case, for example, it's a very difficult decision, in a sense, as to whether you choose the interest of the country or the interest of the party. And naturally, the party calls the tune, so you go with the interest of the party. And that is multiplied down to the ministers. It's just a concentration of power that is two parties.
So then how do you organize the election of government?
Oh, well, it's not difficult, Wilmot. You appoint your ministers. You appoint your...
Who appoints the ministers?
You elect your MPs, which is your representatives. But your ministers are people who are executing tasks.
So hold on a little bit.
You hire and fire them.
Hold on a minute. You elect your MPs?
Your MPs, but they're not ministers.
Some individual.
It can be party elected people. Any group can elect people.
Yes.
That's not the problem.
But that is the position at the moment.
Yes, but it goes on now.
But the party organizations dominate the electoral process.
No, that's not the problem. The problem is when you are both a minister and a member of a party, whether you be the head of the leader of the party or a senior member, that's the problem.
Members of party, members of the party are to be members of parliament, possibly.
Right.
But not ministers.
Not ministers. You have
so
the president who is not
where will the
elected.
Members of the where will the ministers come from?
Well, I see them as servants, Wilmot, so they will be appointed by Parliament.
They will be appointed by Parliament.
Right, and they would be hired and fired.
So how would Parliament determine who to appoint?
Well, we can deem the democracy, Wilmot. We can have national debates and so on, but it shouldn't be automatically that you're going to be a party person that way. It should be a separate thing.
So these persons selected by Parliament
are professionals in their administrative abilities and knowledge of the particular ministry and field.
But who would nominate them?
Well, I don't have a...
if you have 60 members of Parliament, those 60 members might come up with 60 different lists?
Right. So, Parliament would have to elect to vote on them, but I would see a big national debate as to who would be minister.
Absolutely. You might spend the whole year doing that?
No, you would have to choose them. Parliament would vote on them, but the point I'm making, you don't automatically, as head of a party, become automatically a prime minister. That's a conflict of interest. So I'm saying separate the two interests. Have professionals, very much like your permanent secretary would be in a sense, who are responsible for executing Parliament's decisions. That's what I'm thinking of, Wilmot. And you have a president who is nationally elected, who is not a party person, is elected in a national election, whose job is to protect the Constitution.
But a country can't be governed like that. You have 60 members of Parliament.
And
there is no...
They vote on...
there is no party organization there, right?
No, separate the party. Whether party elect the MPs, that's not the issue. Any group can elect a member of Parliament.
Yes.
I'm saying it is Parliament that is supreme there, and they would, based on criteria for your ministers, appoint the people from a slate of persons.
Yes, but there would be no coherence there. Each individual would, have his own ideas as to...
No, your parliament would have its national plan, which your executive would have developed. We build our nation around a national plan that is popular, right? And then it's executed. These people are executed.
And who would develop this national plan?
It's just as the right way it should happen.
The what?
The people who the plan is for, the citizens and the organized groups.
They would develop the plan?
Through their representatives would develop the plan. So there would be a national plan that is popular and approved by Parliament. And on the basis of that, right, your executive would execute and Parliament would oversee.
I see. All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Perkins. Sir Perkins?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Now, my dear sir, hello, yes, sir. I've got a problem here, sir. And my problem, yes, my problem is this, Mr. Perkins, is that from some laborites in Central Clarendon, right? From they come to the house and review them, Mr. Perkins. Now, the thing is about it now is that the paper come down to say that their name is not on the voters list. And they are strictly laborites.
They are what?
We need to know is some sabotaging going on, Mr. Perkins.
They're laborites in Central Clarendon.
Yes, sir.
Whose names are not on the voters list.
Yes, sir. Their name is not on the voters list. Yes, sir.
How were they on the vote?
When they go to the office and ask them what about their name, they are saying that they have to wait. And if
Hold
the
on.
name even
Were
comes
they
down,
enumerated?
they're not going to vote for this time. For the election that is coming.
Were they enumerated?
Yes, sir. They enumerate.
When?
They enumerate for this election, Mr. Perkins.
But
the sabotaging going on, sir, for Central Clarendon in the laborite area.
When was this enumeration carried out?
Hello, sir?
When was this enumeration carried out?
When was this what?
Enumeration carried out.
It was carried out months, long time ago, Mr. Perkins.
Are you talking about the re-verification?
The re-verification, sir.
I see what you mean. So they were visited at their houses?
Hello?
They were visited at their houses?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, sir. That is the one I'm talking about. And they are telling them no.
And they have the document that was.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They have all documents, but Mr. Perkins, in this Central Clarendon area, the labor, they are sabotaging them, Mr. Perkins, and we cannot live this life. We cannot live this life again, Mr. Perkins. 18 years of it, Mr. Perkins. 18 years. We can't manage this.
Hold on a minute. When they didn't see,
Hello?
Yes, did they go to the electoral office about this?
Oh Lord, yes, sir. And they told them that they have to wait until they cannot vote for this election again, you know. They can't vote for this election. That's why we say sabotage.
Well, look here, you know, Mom. I really don't see how the electoral office can take somebody's name off the voters list in this way.
Oh, Jesus, mercy, God, Mr. Perkins.
And
the chief of the election, Mr. Perkins.
No,
that they want to do.
I suggest, you know, that you all get together and talk to I suggest, you know, that you all get together and talk to a lawyer with a view to bringing this to the courts.
But, Mr. Perkins...
Because I don't see on what ground.
Well, where are we going to get the money, Mr. Perkins, to call a lawyer?
But not the Labour Party. You know, says the Labour rights.
Hello?
So that, I say, you say it is Labour rights.
Yes, sir, it's pure
So
Labour
the Labour
rights.
Party might have an interest in funding it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Hold on just a moment.
Yes, sir.
Reach your financial goals with a COK fixed deposit account. Get your savings on track. Conditions apply. COK for life. COK. Invest in your future today. And the time by COK is 1:31.
Marlon,
I want to fix up the kitchen at home and the bar at the club with some nice countertop sink and faucets. But I wonder if I can afford it.
Look, Miss B, as a trained workman, Cameron Industries, them have low price fender acrylic, post form laminated in plenty colors, and them solid surface second to none. The workman, them factory trained. Them products strong and resist heat, chemicals and stain. Them also have some nice sinks, and what the nice word they use the pipe? Faucet.
Come to think of it, everybody's talking about Camerons. I also hear they give excellent service.
That's right. Check them at the Trade Center, 3032 Reynolds Road, Kingston. Telephone 906-386-224 and Hatfield, Manchester, 963-0628. Cameron Industries is the best name for quality countertops in Jamaica.